impulses into space. All that they're being heard on every radio telescope on the entire Earth.
Did you think it was...
We need some music. We haven't got any sounds. Where the hell is the Elder Scrolls stuff? 1 second. We did this last time. I had it already set up. How you doing, by the way? Welcome to the stream. I'll say hello to everybody specifically in a moment. Elder Scrolls Online. Elsewhere soundtrack will do, won't it? Yes. Hopefully this isn't too loud. Way loud. There we go. Is that too loud? So, who have we got? Entity, Fuzzman, Susie, Kooky, SG53D, Mike, Rav, Synonymous, Christina. Did I say hi to you already? No, I didn't. Fatal, Lucas, Bella, Zeus, RC the Hunter, Seth, Goetz, Batman, Mystical, Sattler, Nelwyn, JR Primus, Rickard. Was it not Rickard? No, it's Richard Barry actually. Watching Bear and Claw. Oh, Navy Ryan as well. Thank you very much for joining. How you doing? That was loud in my ears. Is it too loud now? That's probably too loud, isn't it? Let's turn it down a bit. How's that? Is that better for your ears? Riancy, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Django as well. So we're obviously going to go through the patch notes. Just a disclaimer for anyone that is trying to get ahead of themselves a little bit. Do not. So, obviously I'm going to be reading these live. And we're going to go through these, surprisingly, in order. As you would read a normal book or a website article or something like that. So if you've already read these, I don't care. Try to keep that within yourself. Don't try to get ahead of the streamer because it's rude. I'm going to be reading them, talking about them, and per checkpoint, that's when people will be able to obviously talk about that particular subject. If you go ahead of me, you're probably just going to get timed out because people don't want to hear that shit. Bob and Weaving, how you doing? Sparrow as well, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. So I can ask questions about whether you're talking about the note in the notes or should we wait until the end? You can ask during certain checkpoints, is fine. So, for example, if there is a set and I'm talking about the set, that's the perfect time for you to talk about it. If I haven't even got to the sets yet and I'm just saying hi and someone starts whinging in the chat but oh my god, this is fucking shit, get out. Platts, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Akuma, Fire, welcome indeed. I haven't pressed the ninja button yet. Ninja to read it. Extended Jubilee event. And just because I already anticipated a fuck ton of whinges, we've got this button already. Of course. We've got this button as well.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
And we've got one of those. So we're good. Sal, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Right. First of all, is the music too loud? Okay. In fact, can you hear it? It's supposed to be just some background stuff for Elder Scrolls. If it gets too noisy, we'll cut it off. But it just cut out some of the silence. Yes, it is, Guinness. Right. Now let's see what we've got. We know we're getting 2 dungeons. I know some other stuff, but we'll get there because I'm sure it's here. Of course it is. I've already seen it. We will look at them hopefully today, if not maybe tomorrow. The patch is already downloading, so it should be done soon. And of course, if I get time, I will go onto the PTS after I've read all the notes and have a look at some of the stuff. But we've got 2 new dungeons, we've got some new item sets, some new collectible dies, some achievements and titles, and new furnishing, which is great. Base game performance updates, new PvP campaigns, new collectibles, new homes, Master Writ furnishings, Crown Store, Undaunted achievement furnishings, prologue quest as well for the chapter, I would assume, and also Anniversary Jubilee event, which Batman is so excited. You just want to see the Scar button? Of course you did. Everyone, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. So then just hope you're all doing well. Very well, thank you. Welcome in. Right. So, we're going to get into the juicy stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about furniture and stuff because we can't see it. But we'll maybe look at it in the game. Jeezy, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Zaya patching the PTS. The site says it's still offline. Oh well. It's downloading for me. Unless it's the base game. Might be the base game. Nope, that wasn't. It might be offline. But you can still download shit, dude. You're holding me up now. Relax. Hey Zion Stream, how you doing, Zombie? Welcome to the stream. So Ice Reach is first dungeon, obviously, and Unhallowed Grave is the second one. We can't see anything in there, but if you put Greymore in the chat, I show you a video in there from Zos actually explaining a couple of new dungeons. So enjoy. We can't see those yet, so I can't really talk about it. Unique body marking, unique weapon style. That was talked about on Zos's live stream from Vegas. They did say that you'll be able to actually get Lyris Titanborn's axe, which would be fucking nuts. And now we're going to go straight into this other stuff. Update 25 brings a standard 8 new dungeon sets made of 2 light armor sets, 2 medium, 2 heavy, and 2 unique monster masks split up on each dungeon release. Additionally, there will be new Cyrodiil crafted sets. Shiny. These items are crafted from stations that are inside 3 capturable towns. The 3 points that people take over and over and over and over to try and get deadly or whatever the fuck they're getting. In order to reach these areas, you must first ensure the Alliance has control of the town. So basically, you take the 3 flags and it's yours. So prepare to spill blood. Do note, however, that these stations will still remain attunable for crafty crafters who do their writs. So you can take your, I want to turn my station into this set stuff there and have it in your house, which is handy. Thank you for the link. No Lyris Titanborn mount. No, I know. How you doing, Dare? Dare, welcome to the stream. Can I get a link for the patch notes? You can if you put patch notes in the chat. So, do this. But don't come in trying to say stuff that I haven't got to yet because that's rude and people will just get timed out for it. So, Ice Reach, light armor. First set we're looking at is, however the fuck you say that. Hitties or Highties? Or how the fuck you say it? Herf. They're probably going to pronounce it a really weird way regardless of what it looks like. Mag Recovery, Max Magicka. When you heal yourself or an ally with an ability, so that's quite specific, you gain a warming aura for 10 seconds. While in the warming aura, you and group members restore 1020 health every 1 second and reduce the cost of sprint, block, dodge roll by 5%. This effect can happen once every 12 seconds. So a 2-second downtime. So it's effectively a hot with reduction to combat stuff. Okay, that could be quite helpful in Hoth actually, because there's a lot of blocks and shit in there. Medium, physical pen, weapon damage, max stamina. Adds 110 weapon damage and 1,240 physical penetration. This bonus doubles to 220 weapon damage and 2.4k physical pen, 2.48 actually. When you are under 75% health, this bonus This bonus quadruples to 440 weapon damage and 4960 physical pen when you are under 50% health. There's a Berserker set for PvP. Yeah, of course you can use it in PvE, but you know, the more health you lose, the harder you hit. I quite like that. That stack with the Fury would be absolutely amazing. Djenko, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Heavy armor, healing taken, health, stamina. When you taunt an enemy... Sorry, try again. When you taunt a nearby enemy, you tether to them for 5 seconds. While tethered, you apply Major Maim to your enemy, reducing their damage done by 30%, and you gain Major Vitality, increasing your healing taken by 30%. The tether is broken if the enemy moves 8 meters away from you. This can occur once every 14 seconds. What the actual fuck? When you taunt a nearby enemy... So, that's your Major Vitality pot on Zamaja. And you can still use your potions. It's not too bad, actually. Obviously, a big main bonus is quite effective. And you could stack that with a monster set, couldn't you? The one that knocks their fucking damage down. So once it runs out, you give them a bash and have higher uptime on it. And then you get someone to fling Novas. That's quite nice. I like that. So we can't mount Lyris, but we can take her armor. Yeah, of course. Naked Lyris. Monster set. So, max magic. While in combat, casting an ability with a cast time or channeled ability, Jesus Beam, Puncture and Sweeps, lovely, an ability, it grants you a damage shield that absorbs 3,000 damage for 10 seconds. This can occur once every 10 seconds. I don't really give a shit about that, to be honest. I think that's a little underwhelming in comparison to Ice Heart. I think that will probably be altered a little bit, because Ice Heart just procs when doing damage anyway, and it's quicker. Although the max magic bonus is actually quite nice. Can Lyris mount us? Do you really want that to happen? The other sets. Okay, light armor first of all. Max magic, spell pen, mag recovery. When dealing direct damage to an enemy, it has a 10% chance to place a ghostly curse on the enemy for 6 seconds. Cursed enemies take 530 extra damage from all damage abilities. This can happen once every 6 seconds. That is dirty. That's a higher stack than Stonefist. And it should stack as a flat value. That's actually pretty nice. I like the look of that one. We're going to have to see what it looks like as well to see the damage, not damage, the visuals. VMA set. Why? I mean, it works, sure, but that's for everyone. Is that for your damage abilities or for everybody in your group? Cursed enemies take 330 damage from all your damage. That one's a bit specific. We'll have to check that and see if it works for other people. If it does, that'd be fun as fuck. On your own, okay, fine. Yeah, sure, VMA. But if it works for other people, that'd be nuts. And then if you are DK, you just throw in some stone fists for a boss and then nuke it with loads of magic abilities. Hybrid the fuck out of it. That'd be awful in PvP. People would die so fast. Medium armor, weapon damage, stam recovery, weapon damage. When you deal critical damage with a melee ability, that's very specific, so no bow. You summon a Lesser Aegis for 12 seconds. After 2.5 seconds, the Lesser Aegis spins into blades, dealing 4.8k bleed damage every 1 second. This can occur every 10 seconds. Right, the cooldown is pretty long, but that's a hefty, fast-paced dot, to be fair. That's pretty bursty. I quite like that. Mind you, no, saying that, that's not right. 12 seconds after 2.5 it fires. How long does this last for? Summons it for 12 seconds. After 2.5 seconds... No, that was misread. So, not far off of 9.5 seconds of a dot? That can't be right. If it is, that's disgusting. Because that's huge. What do you reckon? Did I hear hybrids? You know they're a thing, Batman. It's not your idea. You know it. You just love them. Hi, Zide Ninjas. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. So, that to me looks like a stupidly strong damage over time proc. But, specifically for melee. So, you have to be dual wield. Maybe sword and board, because that counts as melee as well. And then two-handers. You won't proc that from a bow. It's quite nice, though. Recover on it as well. So, nasty in PvP. If that does proc the way it looks, because you know what they're like. They sometimes don't explain things properly. We'll have to test it. Simple as that. If it works the way it looks, that's going to be fucking filthy. That's hefty as hell. That means it'll only have, what, a half-second downtime if it's 9.5 seconds? Last 12. After 2.5, it bleeds every second. and reapplies every 10. Yeah, that's nuts. Have you got your button ready? I've had my buttons ready for ages. Guess it goes for 9.5 seconds instead of 12. That's exactly what I just said. Inklings, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Bit and cake in the chat. Get that man a follow. And in fact, get him a shout out. It's basically a dollar store ice heart in that state. Maybe. We'll see. Heavy stuff. Stamina, health. Summon a stone aura while blocking, hardening you and your nearby group members. Increasing your physical and spell resistance by 4430. Ooh. High resistance. Very nice. A stone aura while blocking. We need to see how large that is, actually. Because if it's really fuck off close quarters, it might not be that effective. But if it's quite a decent size, sort of 8 meters and above, that would be nuts. Monster set, here we go. Spell damage is the first set. That's actually quite handy. I don't think we had that. Oh no, we've got it on Monokina or excuse me, my voice. We've got it on Monokina, haven't we? Dealing damage with a light attack puts a bone stack on the enemy for 5 seconds. You can only apply 1 stack every 1 second, so kind of like Rally. At 5 stacks, an undodgeable skeletal hand attacks the enemy after 1 second, knocking them into the air and stunning them for 3 seconds, or dealing 14,500 magic damage. If you cannot be stunned, an enemy that has reached 5 stacks cannot gain bone stacks for 3 seconds. So 5 seconds to proc it, 3 seconds down, then you start again. So 8-second gap. That's pretty good. I mean, it's a fairly sizable hit, but you're going to have to make sure you CC the target or fight a boss. If it's a boss, it would always work because they're CC'd anyway. They can't be stunned and all that shit, so it's guaranteed damage. If it can be CC'd, you'll have to stun it or CC it first. Otherwise, you'll just fling them up in the air. I want to see it fling people up in the air, though. That looks really fun. New patch notes, the world is ending. I know, right? How you doing? Welcome to your stream. The world is ending every time there's a patch notes because people, this is what they do. They go, oh my god, the game is fucked. And they cry for a month. Then when what they thought was going to break the game doesn't break the game, they just disappear like it never happened and go, oh yeah, everything's fine. Be responsible for your actions. Maybe you should offer people an apology for the doom and gloom. Did I just notice my... Yeah, they are. What happened? I thought you looked eerie outside.
Winning.
Thank you for the follow.
Drinks all around.
Cyrodiil crafted sets. This is what we want to know. So, crit resistance. Nice. As a actual bonus. Max health. Crit resistance again. When you take critical damage, you apply minor uncertainty and minor... How the fuck do you say it? Innovation, sorry. Misread that completely for a second. To the enemy for 4 seconds, reducing their physical and spell crit by 1314. That's on potions, that stuff is. Poisons even. And reducing their crit damage by 10%. An enemy can only be affected by your critical riposte every 7 seconds. So, that's like having a poison on, but not actually using a poison. Plus this, obviously, but... Okay, interesting. I like the crit resistance on it, though. That's handy. 11T. File, how you doing? Add stamina, recovery, weapon damage, and spell damage. Batman, are you reading this? After breaking free, you gain major berserk for 9 seconds. Fuck off. Increasing your damage done by 25%. This is going to occur every 21 seconds. It's a big gap. A really big gap, especially if you consider Heem Jazz. But then Heem Jazz, you have to kill stuff. That stuff, you just have to be CC'd and break out. But if you stacked them, you could have it forever. And then you could be the master. I like it, but I think the cooldown's pretty big in comparison to some other stuff. But since the situation's completely different, you do actually have to get CC'd. So that could force you to let yourself get stunned. Which would mean you would deliberately not use immovable potions. And maybe use something else. What happened? Have you got to Skaven Mage stuff yet? Clearly not. We're not there. Don't jump ahead. Let me read and you can ask at the time. Located in Cropsford. Stamina, health, magicka, health. You kind of like the notes. When you are affected by a disabling effect, you automatically break free for no cost. After using this effect, you become winded and cannot re-trigger this for 21 seconds. Oh! That's naughty, because that could go with that. because you need to break free to get this proc. But this automatically breaks you free for no cost. So basically, it snaps you out by default and then gives you a buff. Weird. Very weird. I mean, it could have application. You have to make sure that you filled... No, I mean, you could use recovery food, so you could still be fine with recovery. The flat damage output is dead, though. There's nothing on it. You'd have to put that all into your glyphs. But the max stats are quite nice, and the fact that this can proc off of this, and you don't have to waste any resources breaking. Most people waste their resources in PvP, breaking free, dodge roll, and all that shit anyway, so a free break free is quite nice. Especially in no CPs. That's a bit nuts. It's a 4k stam cost. Yeah, something like that. Depending on whether you've got points or not. Because you can lessen it. But if you're in no champion points, especially Battlegrounds, that could be pretty dirty. That could be the difference between living and dying. Because you really don't want to keep breaking free every so often. Or wasting a fuck ton of removable pots if you want some damage pots instead. That's not too bad. So they're a bit weird. This is actually quite nice. I do like the idea of this. We're going to have to test them at the end of the day. We need to actually see them working. And then see if certain things do stack on top of others, which we're hoping they do. So, new dies. Not going to look at those because, let's face it, we can't see them. The question would be, does it give more stam return per cooldown than Bone Pirate? See, that's the thing. Stack them. You don't have to go one or the other. You can put them together. How's it, Ninjas? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Over 30 achievements run. Well, there's titles basically. This one is for. Oh, it's just dungeon stuff. It doesn't actually say what it's for. I would assume that's no death. In Defiance, completing a cold killer, no rest for the wicked. So it's probably going to be no death, speedrun, that kind of stuff. We got 4 titles. There are tattoos. There's a weapon as well, weapon motif style, which is looking pretty cool. Rilla's axe. Mikey, thank you very, very much indeed. Hugely appreciate a bit and cake in the chat. Hi, Zion Ninjas. How you doing? Still an Adoran fan title. Much sad. You should keep it, mate. Keep it forever. What happened there? Break free plus Unchained passive. You mean the one that makes your stuff cheaper afterwards? Well, yeah, of course. That's exactly what it does. But that happens anyway when you break free. However, your sustain's going to be fucking stupid if you keep deliberately getting stunned. Although it is once every 21 seconds, which is quite long. But it'll count. Mackie, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. So, performance updates. We do want to know about that. Can you hear the music in the background? Because I fucking can't. Let's turn it up a little bit. Because it's too quiet. There we go. If that gets too loud, tell me. Voodoo, how you doing? Frame rate stability improvements have been achieved by optimizing several systems. This means you will now encounter fewer drops in frame rates, maintaining a smoother display of motion on the screen. Please see below for a brief explanation on technical work that has completed the support. Optimized multi-threading implementation to improve performance in situations of lots of effects, particles, projectile effects, weather, etc. happen at the same time. Optimize specific processes that could cause spikes in resource usage and cause FPS drops. Oh shit, what's my phone doing? Never mind that. Where was I? Parallelize the fixture update process, allowing them to utilize multiple cores to improve overall performance on the game client. That's something that's been asked for quite a lot on PC, obviously. Add additional miscellaneous CPU optimizations, including that bit we read already. But terrain loading, optimized tutorial GUI, optimized compass pins, and miscellaneous function improvements. Now, this stuff basically means, for those that don't understand everything, better. It's better. That's all you need to know. Saves complications. 4 new PvP campaigns will be opening with the launch of Update 25, and all appropriately themed with the Dark Heart of Skyrim. So we're going to have cool names. Blackreach is 30 days CP enabled. Non-alliance locked. Did you read that? Non-alliance locked with champion points. Then, non-alliance locked, no CPs. Thank you very much. Who is that? MWW7, thank you very, very much. Then you've got CP enabled, alliance locked, and then a below 50. So you do have now 2 30-day campaigns. No alliance lock at all. So for those that were doing this, congratulations, you got your own way. For now. Night of the Circle collectible armor. We're not going to go into collectibles because we can't see them, although we may look at them in game. We can't see the new home, so we'll skip that, and we can't see this stuff either. Yes, I know they've mentioned details about it, but you can't see what these are, so we'll have a look at them in game as well. Crown Stuff furnishing, same applies. Undaunted achievement furnishings. Ooh, now offer 2 new furnishings associated with Harrowstorm dungeon, so that will be at the Undaunted area. You go and speak to the dude. We can't see those. Prologue's coming, excellent, but we won't spoil that on the stream. Jubilee event, cake. That's what we do need, but that's not for a long time yet. I'm new to ESO on PC. I was wondering how I get on the PTS. You need to go into your launcher, pull down the menu, and it will say you'll have an option to download the PTS. It's a separate file entirely. That was a long time ago I did that, though. This update, 1 max level character template, run template.
Drinks all around.
That's fine. Thank you very much for the follow. Increase the number of RIP vouchers. So this is all PTS stuff, basically what you're getting. So you'll have loads of stuff. And by the way, for anyone asking about my videos, how'd you get 1 billion gold, dude? It's PT fucking S. It's not real. It's on the test server. So now you know. Concentrated barrier. We're going into combat now, by the way. This passive is currently disabled on PTS until it receives additional work to support the changes with block. Okay, so on PTS, if you're having issues with this particular passive, that is why. They've already addressed it. Fix an issue where your character is hidden behind the interface while interacting with the outfit station. In gamepad mode, I saw that a couple of times, but I don't use Clockwork City that much, so I haven't really interacted with it as much as others. Harry now correctly repositions the direwolf relative to the monsters fighting in his combat target without regarding whether the monster was also a direwolf. Strange fixes. Who was that? Nope, read that one already. Gottes, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Dungeons, Fang Lair, and an issue that prevented trappings of invigoration, restoration staves, and legs from dropping. So now they do. Excuse me. Fixed an issue where trapping of invigorating boots could drop as a reward for killing Zahn. That shouldn't happen. That should be jewelry and weapons. Oh, my fucking neck is really uncomfortable. Combat and gameplay. Dragons going out into combat now correctly animate when they stop moving. These are all fixes, aren't they? Fix an issue where objects attacked by dragons out of combat would return intact after the state of attack. Thank you very much. McDade, you sneaky ninja. Sick boy trying to get you too. Oh yeah. Thank you very much indeed. You know the rules, people. The fight starts again from scratch. We have a brand new Dragonborn, people. Dragonborn. Thank you very much. You know the rules. McDade is on the throne. If you kill him, he will take his place on the stream. I'll have to kill you instead. Thank you very much for the follow, by the way. McDade, you're a legend. Sick boy, so are you. Thank you very much, both of you, for your resubs. Fiction issue where some other stuff happened. Okay, we're not going to go into that because this is stuff that everyday people see, and now you should be happy it's fixed. You can't really test it right now. Ender, what the fuck? Oh my word. Dragonborn down, people. That was quick. You know the rules, people. The fight starts again from scratch. That was incredibly fast, Dragonborn. Thank you very much for those resubs. Shit, I pressed it twice. Ender, you're fucking mad. 81 gifted subs to the channel. 5 right there. Taking the Dragonborn off the throne. Who is in charge? Heathen Fern, you are now on the throne. Where you want patch notes? I have come to new sets yet? Yes, I've come to new sets yet. I've already gone past them. Just got through them. Yep. Put patch notes in the chat. You can reread it yourself if you want to. Motif pages. Can't see any for those. None of those. None of those. A tutorial pop up now using puzzle cubes to give helpful hints on how they function. Ahaha. The juicy stuff. Right. So, straighten the hat. Get ready. For the tiers. Is there a link to the patch notes? I literally just said it. There you go. Enjoy. Due to many mechanical issues with the Necromancer's engagement with corpses, the targets of corpses, the following changes have been made in hopes to alleviate some of the shortcomings. Blast burns at its morphs corpses will now last 6 seconds rather than 5. Skeletal Mage and Spirit Mender and their morphs corpses will last 10 seconds rather than 5, and improve the targeting areas of all Tether abilities and will now link to the corpse closest to the reticle for much larger radius. The goal for these changes was to help reduce situations where tether abilities do not grab a corpse in high combat load, as well as making it easier for necromancers to feel in control of the amount of corpses on the field when utilizing their corpses generating abilities. Okay, so you could pull shit from this dude and then wait 5 seconds and pull shit from this dude rather than just randomly picking whatever. Here we go. I've read them, but I didn't want to spoil anything just in case. Good. The skeleton from this ability and its morphs will now attempt to leap up to 28 meters after a short delay of spawning in, rather than 15. That's going to be fucking mad.
I love winnings. Drinks all around.
Just going to jump across the fucking field. Thank you for the follow. Fix an issue where the skeleton would appear to jump backwards when leaping in close ranges. The skeleton will now also properly attempt to face its target while leaping, rather than moonwalk jumping. OP as fuck. Increase the speed of which the skeleton jumps. Boneyard, reduce the cost of this ability and its morphs to 3780, down from 4950. Shit, that's a big drop. Very nice. Bitter Harvest, please don't break this. Dreaded Pain, okay, good. Fix an issue where the major protection from this ability was not extended if you had Yorval's Guidance or other duration extended bonuses. Just saying, Master or Major Slayer is a buff type that you can get from War Machine or Master Architect to give to other people. You can also get it from Loki for yourself, and that also doesn't apply with Yorval's, and it should, because it is a major buff. But whatever. Finding something to fix in Skeleton. Skeletons joined the Olympics, 28 meters. Yes, they did. Agony Totem, fix an issue where the Vigil's effect of this synergy for Pure Agony's cooldown indicator could appear to allies who were still on cooldown. The beam of necromantic light will now only show itself when you can activate synergy. Good, because that was busted as fuck. I kept trying to find it. I was running around in circles. Very happy, less stuck skeletons. Yeah, indeed. Tank set, oh my god, broke. VBPR is awesome for that set, I think. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? There's lots of content in which you can use it in. Live in Death, reanimate, fix an issue where this ability and its morphs would not trigger events that required resurrections to proc. I found that problem the other day, actually. It was a bit buggy. Good, they fixed it. We're not going to look at that because we can't see it. We're not going to look at houses. Dungeons, White Gold Tower. Molokina is now correctly categorized as Daedra. So for you that are using the glyphs that do extra damage to Daedra, now it'll work. Dungeon and group content. A draining shock ability no longer drains magicka of those affected by damage over time. This is Halls of Fabrication, by the way. Hunter Killer Fabricants reduce the health of refabricated spheres. Hunter Killer Negatrix and Positrix even got, on veteran difficulty. Reduce the health of those on veteran difficulty, sorry. So the boss has got lower health and the ads that surround it have got lower health. Happy days. Reduce the damage of the Charge, Gore, and Static Cascade abilities. The Static Cascade ability will no longer stun those affected by it. Holy fuck! That's the game changer for those that haven't done it. I mean, it's stupidly easy for those that have, but for those that haven't done it, that stops people being stuck on the first boss. That's going to be a fuck ton easier. We'll have to see how that works too. Reduce the health of the Pinnacle Factotum, Refabricated Centurions, and Power Storms. The Shockwave ability no longer stuns targets affected by it. What the fuck? Are you serious? No longer stuns? Fuck, just take the mechanics away. Reduce the health. How much by, though? Change off pretty crazy. How much fucking health have they been reduced by? Have they taken off like 1k health and gone, see, we patched it? Or are they literally halved it? Fucking nuts. To be fair, I mean, yeah, I know many people have achieved it and many people have done it hundreds of fucking times, and to them it's boring because they're too OP and now they've got no respect for anyone. But, I mean, if you look at it on a wider scale, there are a shit ton of players out there that still can't do this. So, I mean, it was probably needed, but Jesus Christ, did they fucking do it? That's a big drop in difficulty. Boris, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Doom, welcome to the stream as well. How you doing? I mean, if you... Centurions have a lower health as well. They're just going to get nuked. And the Power Storms. And fucking the lightning shit. I mean... Good job you ain't got the video yet. Finn is crying now. He was forced to. He probably is. He's probably just tears into his cornflakes.
I love winnings. Drinks all
Thank you very much
around.
for the follow. Okay, let's have a look at this. Reduce... No, read that one. Reduce the damage of the melting point ability at the rate at which the damage increases. Reduce the damage of fulminate and grasping limbs abilities. And reduce the health of the summoned ruin fact totems. Fuck off, man. Oh my god. See, this is a fucked up thing, right? Our damage is too fucking high anyway for most stuff. And then this has just brought all the health down with the bosses. So we hit harder, bosses have less health. Squash boss. I'm actually quite happy about it. There's going to be a lot of people that will actually pass it now rather than getting stuck on it for days and days and days. Or weeks even. Dragon, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Shmini as well. How you doing? Reduce the rate at which the secret projectiles increase in damage with successive hits. And the bleed from Whirling Blades is now an appropriate icon. Okay, fine. So Assembly General hasn't been nerfed that much. But to be fair, he's not that hard anyway. Most people that get to the Assembly General, as long as they don't panic, will pretty much annihilate it in comparison to going up against Rakat for the first time. Finn made a typo. He obviously meant to buff off. I know, and someone fucked it up for him. Going for TikTok. Really, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Monsters. This is in Murkmire, so overland stuff has been fixed. Black Rose Prison, the faster than flames achievement can no longer be obtained without meeting the requirements. See, naughty people! Getting stuff when you don't deserve it. For King Gory, fixed an issue where King would randomly teleport away during the fight. Fine. Lair of Marsalok. Fixed an issue where a skeleton direwolf may stick around after the encounter is completed. Stranglers during this encounter will no longer inexplicably retreat into the ground. Now, I appreciate that they're fixing these dungeons and shit, but here's the thing. Skeletal direwolf stuck. Fixed now. Great. What about Elden Hollow, where Barney is stuck in the wall? That dinosaur has been stuck in the wall for about 6 months now. Hashtag free Barney. What's post-traumatic stress got to do with anything? Dare, oh dare, oh dare. Read that one. Skeleton bear monsters now have more accurate collision. In Somerset, goblins that use venomous arrow no longer stand up to take a shot. More stuff overland. Reduce the time of void and can no longer be interrupted. Void now deals damage in telegraphed areas. Okay, fine. Most of that gets flattened anyway, unfortunately. Fix improvements. Oh, hang on. Fix an issue that prevented werewolves from being able to open Thieves' Troves if they are on their own Thieves Guild DLC. Frostfall! Oh, God. What about clearer communication on how exactly to get Marstock down off his perch? It is clear. You kill the Stranglers or keep them down and he'll come down. You can blame this on the elite that don't have patience. Disintegration failsafe now correctly ignites the Whirling Blade traps after interacting with... How the fuck do you say that? Veracity? Verifier? And... I think it's Verifier. And this... What? Disintegration. Why am I reading so fucked today? I'm tired. Failsafe no longer ignites the Whirling Blade traps in veteran mode. Okay, fine. So... Wait a minute. Let me read that again. Disintegration failsafe now correctly ignites the Whirling Blade traps. Okay, it should. After interacting with them, disintegration failsafe no longer ignites the Whirling Blade traps during veteran mode. Okay, so that was not supposed to happen. Is that the hard mode mechanic where the blades go through, it gets to fire and throws fireballs? Was that applying to the wrong version of it? The music's too loud, sorry. Let's turn that down. I can't say I've seen that, but I have seen it crash a fuck ton. Screw it, Mr. Clean. Here we go. Get ready for this shit. This is where people start complaining. They've not really got any room to complain because if you go back through the history of Elder Scrolls Online, every single time we've had PTS and someone's made a fucking video or a forum post going, you fucked my game up. By the time it's been released, that particular subject matter isn't a problem and worked just fine. So, we'll see. Bit hard to hear you over the music. I've already fixed it, DJ. I literally just did it. I don't know whether you just did that to repeat what I was saying or whether you are delayed to shit. Let's turn that down a little bit more, actually. Should be able to do it. We'll turn the other one on. The other one was better. There we go. Right, here we go. Update a block to be calculated more efficiently by the server, similarly to sprint, sets, and passives that key off block or while blocking while bracing. Now more accurately update as you transition between actively blocking and not. Overall, the core block behaviors are untouched. Listen very carefully to this, especially for those of you that don't fucking read and just run around shouting, oh my god, they broke block. No. Listen very carefully. Overall, the core block behaviors are untouched between mechanics and cost. So they work the same and they cost the same. We will be monitoring the forums and other areas for feedback and bug reports, so please be sure to make sure to provide feedback on this change if you run into any strange behaviors. Right? So this is you being asked to report if you find any bugs. They're not asking you to do this. And before you do, the behavior of block is untouched and the cost is untouched. You will see a different visual and how it works back end. Block works and functions the same, they just change how the server handles it. Are you just repeating what I'm saying? Let me do the presenting. Shit. Activate and block while animation. Oh, la 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 la. No, you take over. I can't even speak. Activate and block while animating an ability or attack will now blend the animation more fluidly instead of completely obfuscating the attack. So, that's a horrible fucking word, that. Why do you use language like that, Zos? Yuck. It's just for lols, isn't it? They watch these streams and see if anyone can read them or not. Now, the core mechanics to block cancelling remain untouched. I'll repeat this. Listen very carefully. The core mechanics to block cancelling remain untouched. It still works just as it did before. And the block cancel in the animation cancelling video on my channel, RIP Charger, still applies. So no, it didn't get nuked. No, I didn't waste my time in the video. It's fine. But we'll now display more of the previous attack animations before your character animates the block. So you will see a difference visually, but it'll still work the same. Because you want to obfuscate. We had this on stream before, and that word was used a fuck ton, and we just found it was unnecessary. Excuse me. Djenko has gone Leroy in the chat. Now, no, the visual effect. I've read that one already. Did we read that? No, the visual effects of blocking will still appear to soon as you block as officially activated, which has been untouched in terms of how long it takes to activate. So everything is going to function the same. Fix an issue where you could activate block when you didn't have enough stamina to actually block the next attack. You will now need to have adequate resources based on your block cost in order to activate a successful block. Or to activate and successfully block. So, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. When you just sit there with your block up, if you get hit and you don't have enough resources, it won't do anything, obviously. But you shouldn't be able to hold the block anyway. Enjoyably unnecessary, though. Yeah, this is true. Attacks that reduce your stamina to 0 continue to remove block after you successfully mitigate the effect. In some cases, where a secondary effect that bleeds occur, the bleed will still be applied. This is currently not intended and will be adjusted in the future. So that is not intended. Just saying. So again, very clear. They have explained. Attacks that reduce stamina to 0 continue to remove block after you successfully mitigate the effect. Effects that normally would be mitigated via block through this scenario will no longer cancel their effects since your ability to block has been removed. Fixed an issue where using single target charge, leap, or teleport ability would not remove targets from stealth or invisibility while you had a detection potion active. So you would charge someone who you spotted and they would still stay invisible. And babysitting aggro type so much for gifted sub. Fix an issue where many damage over time effects were gaining the effectiveness of stealth bonuses, such as guaranteed critical strikes or stunning targets. Fixed many issues where sources of healing could be dodged or blocked if sourced from an item set or an NPC ability. Bash now properly cancels channeled abilities when you do not have to target to successfully bash. The following thorns or damage return abilities now have 7 meter range on their effect rather than infinite ranges. Spiked armor and its morphs. Good. Good. Do you know why? I've seen this shit. I've seen volatile armor activated and hit someone on the other side of the fucking keep. That's stupid. So now it's got range, which is nice. Living Duck Snare, and of course Spiked Bone Armor. Spiked Bone Armor, even. Oh, I didn't put the title properly. Let me do that again. Put patch notes. Let me fix that. There you go. Read that one, read that one, read that one. What did we? No, we didn't. Summon pets from players' abilities, such as summon unstable familiar, will now behave more consistently with other abilities when entering deep water. This means they will no longer deal damage or heal while in this state. So you can't sit in a pond and let your pet nuke someone. Leaving deep water will return the pet to its default state, which in some cases may require the ability to be activated again. Fair enough. Fix an issue where some leap abilities and charge abilities could not be cast while immobilized. Fix an issue where many leap and charge abilities would move your character in odd ways if you cast the ability in close range. What? Can you give us Batman back? Because I want to jump off keeps. Updated the control and responsiveness of many charge and leap abilities so they reach faster moving targets more reliably, as well as allow you to take more action fluidly after casting them. So you don't hit them and then stand there like a nub for ages. You actually get stuck in. Fix an issue where many leap and charge abilities would fail to apply their effects if you begin sprinting after activating them. Well, that sucks. Off Balance now properly updates its size against the varying target dummies. Off Balance to update Off Balance to behave more consistently across content in game. Oh shit! Here we go. So, Off Balance now lasts 7 seconds from player-sourced abilities and sets. Fair enough. Off Balance is no longer reapplied to a target for 15 seconds once the original source of Off Balance ends. This cooldown is displayed as a debuff on targets once they are affected. Off Balance is no longer consumed on targets from heavy attacks or abilities. Note these rules may be irrelevant in some areas, such as tutorials where the core focus is teaching a behavior of what Off Balance does. Play the tutorial, it tells you everything. Big Bad Barry, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Just waiting for the crying. There won't be. Off Balance is no longer reapplied to a target for 15 seconds once the original source of Off Balance ends. This cooldown is displayed as a debuff on the targets once it's affected. No longer reapplied to target for 15. So that was a debuff anyway. We'll have to see how that has actually applied. Thank you very much. Who was that? Hugely appreciate it. Beer and Cake in the chat. 500,000 damage done to our current Dragonborn. Thank you very, very much indeed. We'll have to see how this actually acts in combat, but it looks relatively the same. It just looks like they're wording it fucking different. Offense is no longer consumed on targets with heavy attack abilities. See, that was only for stuff that was not bosses anyway, because they could be knocked down.
Winning. I love winnings. Drinks all
Thank you, Wolf.
around.
No, these rules may be irrelevant. Read that one. Buffs and debuffs. Major or minor heroism. These buffs will now only grant ultimate while in combat. This prevents these buffs from keeping you in combat longer than intended. Not Zai or the ninjas. Not you, Zai or the ninjas. The others. Oh, I know. Don't worry. Don't fuck my Dragon Knight up. Dragon Knight standard. Fix an issue where the first 3 ticks of this ultimate and its morphs would appear to happen instantaneously. Ouch. Dragon Leap. This ultimate will now properly animate its leap on targets, regardless of its range, resulting in a more overall reaction time for those receiving end of the DK being DK dunked. It's called Batman. Protective Scale. This ability now grants damage mitigations to abilities more appropriately described in the tooltip. Earth and Heart Molten Weapons or Molten Armaments. Fix an issue where the major brutality granted from this ability could fail to apply to group members. I've seen that. I'm glad they're fixing it. What did I miss? No, I read that one. Stonefist. Update this ability to improve its visual storytelling and per cast impact. Good. Because it looked like shit. It was a good skill, but it didn't feel like I was throwing a rock properly. Just little stone. I wanted to bang! Smash everywhere. Stonefist is now a 2-part ability instead of a singular instant mid-range attack. Activating this ability will now stomp the earth, causing you to deal damage in an area around you after a short cast time, and generating 3 charges of the ability. Activating the ability again allows you to lob one of the earthen spheres from around you to the enemy up to 28 meters away to damage them. The base ability no longer has a stagger mechanic, but instead the final charge will stun the enemy upon hit. So, what, you bang your foot on the ground, 3 rocks start hovering, and you just pick them up and fling them? Because that's what it sounds like. That's actually pretty good. We need to see that. If it works in the game like it is in my head, I'll be happy with it, but we'll see. It sounds cool. Drain distance change. No, we're not that far ahead yet. You will be timed out if you try and get ahead of me while I'm reading these live. So, be patient. The base ability no longer... No, I read that one. This morph remains... Oh, it retains its stagger in the form of causing the targets affected by the range attack to take additional damage. Increased damage taken per stack is 65 at rank 4, up from 45. So that's an improvement in damage overall as well. But you got a cast time, obviously. So that's your trade-off. Sounds good. Thank you for the follow. Consuming Darkness for the Nightblade. Shadow abilities. Consuming Darkness fixed an issue where the synergy granted from this ability and its morphs could only be activated when a certain health threshold, which was not previously communicated. It could now be activated any time you meet the list of requirements and are not on cooldown. Ooh. Sorcerer, that's it for the Nightblade. Nothing else. Fair enough. Daedric Summoning. Summon Unstable Familiar. Kind of obsidian shield with bigger stones that you throw. Basically, yeah, you bang the ground, rocks hover around you, you just pick one up and fucking fling it. Sounds pretty good. Reduce the cost of the special active of this ability and the summoned volatile familiar morph to 3-5-10, down from 4-5-0-0. I honestly don't think that's much of an issue, to be honest, because I've seen people spamming the crap out of sorcerer abilities and using pets in and out of combat all the time and not really struggling. But obviously, overall, that's going to help a shit ton for sustain, I guess. But, I mean, I don't think that was necessary. But you win anyway. Who cares? Bolt Escape, Ball of Lightning. Fix an issue where the projectile absorption field could persist longer than intended. Good. Fix that because it's annoying. Lightning Splash. Reduce the cost of this ability and its morphs to 3-7-8-0, down from 4-9-5-0. That is a substantial drop. I mean, this is 3.5 down from 4.5. This is 3.7 down from 4.9. So that's even higher. That's pretty good. Picture the Earthbender animation from the last Airbender. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it sounds like it. More like Kingdom Master Race. Overload. Fix an issue where toggling this ability would dismount you.
Drinks all around.
Thank you for the follow. And updated many sets to properly off-key overload and its morphs where they stated they required heavy attacks. Okay, so this is one of those abilities that kind of gets spammed a lot in PvP, but you don't see a lot of people in PvE actually utilizing it. Not just because people don't necessarily know how to manage their resources to make it effective for a decent uptime, decent downtime, but also because it can be a little clunky. So hopefully that's fixed some of that. Picture Earthbender. No, I read that one. But yeah. Spear Shards. Reduce the cost of this ability and its morphs to 3-7-8-0, down from 4-9-5-0. That's the same as the damage over time there. So it looks like, obviously, damage over time in Area of Effect has been dropped. They did mention this recently, and for good reason, but that's your base class ground Area of Effect ability dropped. Now, class abilities are fucking expensive anyway, so it makes sense that at least one in every class gets a bit of a drop, although it doesn't look like the Nightblade did. Nova. This ability and its morphs now have a negative telegraph, so you can properly tell if the heavens are being called down to protect you or smite you. So now you know if it's a negative Nova. Because before you just see it like, oh, where's the synergy? Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, now that will be a little bit more obvious. Sacred Ground, the passive no longer snares enemies in the area. Instead, it increases your block mitigation by an additional 10% while standing in one of the mentioned abilities. Holy fuck. That's naughty. Templars can mitigate like shit anyway, especially since they're the only ones with a major resolve. BLK Tuna, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thank you very, very much for that sub. Hugely appreciated. My god. So, your major ward and major resolve, or major ward, it's just major resolve now actually, from your rune focus was already dirty because it's 50% increased. Now you've got block mitigation as well, plus your passives, plus your resist from your passive. That's filthy. Absolutely filthy. We say bad Nova. You say what you want. I say different stuff. When's the anniversary event? Not yet. It's like a DK's passive would block and 10% more damage. Yeah, technically if the ability's running, but you have to consider that they actually have bonuses to this anyway. So that's a stacking one. Sure, it's multiplicative, but that's still nice. Water and green balance, living vines. Fix an issue where you would slowly turn to your target receiving the cast if they ran out of your field of vision. While activating it, you will now immediately snap to the direction and cast ability. Okay, so that's just usage and, well, better running skills. So nice, so you don't overshoot it and fail. What was that? Dragon! Absolute legend, thank you very much indeed. Hugely appreciated. Bit of cake in the chat. Glad your presence. This passive now also increases your critical damage against enemies and crit healing against allies who have been recently afflicted with the chilled status effect. Oh. So if you chill something, your crit damage goes up. And if someone else gets debuffed by chilled, your heal goes up. I didn't see that coming. That's naughty. That's incentive for ice damage. Good move. Well played. That's a very cool idea. We're going to have to see and test how that actually affects it. Like, live, but fair enough. Bo, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Speaking of which, we're on the bow now. Poison Arrow. Fix an issue where this ability and its morphs would cancel any previously cast abilities such as cast times or channels. Poison Injection. Fix an issue where the initial hit of this ability was not considered as an execute but many proc conditions such as sheer venom. That one's hit and miss because that would sometimes work and sometimes not, but obviously fixed. Rubs hand nature's bounty buff. Obviously. Captain Obvious. Only if you get hit by ice. Rapid fire. But then again, in content, you do get hit by quite a bit of ice, and ice hurts. Although that would be nuts in Maelstrom. Ballista. Fix an issue where this ability could continuously break the caster's visibility. Invisibility even. Volley. Reduce the cost of this ability down to 3, 5, 10. Down from 4, 5, 0, 0. Now, the only one I'm really not that bothered about is the pet so far. But all these ground-based AoEs that they've altered so far are actually a pretty substantial drop, and I'm quite happy with them. But at the same time, I did already create my builds to be able to sustain, so I didn't really struggle with it anyway. So that just means now we're going to have more room to spam stuff, which is awesome. Oh, you killed Jeff. Nice. Good job. Anyway, next. Destruction Staff. Destructive Touch. Fix an issue where the visual effects of this ability's damage over time would fail to refresh using a Lightning Staff. Yep, that was fucky as hell. Wall of Elements. Reduce the cost of this ability down to 3780, down from 4950. We're seeing the same repeated idea here. It looks like all the ground-based stuff has been dropped by the same amount. Fix numerous issues involving visual effects with this ability and its morphs. Okay, fine. So, Liquid Lightning's down. Wall of Elements is down. Easy Sork still sustains anyway. Did anyway, and now it's going to sustain even more. Nice. Dual Wield, Blade Cloak, reduce the cost of this ability and its morphs down to 3780, down from 4950. That one in particular, I do think was way too expensive. The other ones I'm not too fussed about. You just have to work for your sustain. This one was a little bit meh. So that's good. Twin Blade and Blunt, fix an issue where the bleed from this passive was not consistent with its proc condition. This passive now accurately describes what it does. Battlefield mobility. It should have done anyway. I thought it did. At least for the most part. Maybe it wasn't that clear. Heist is up, people. Saying sustain wasn't an issue before. No, it wasn't. And if it was, the builds wouldn't work. So, but, I mean, if we're getting sustain kind of increased in terms of the cost reduction, then you don't have to fight so much for it, I guess. But they have to be careful because it's a trade-off, isn't it? The whole point of the game is well, not the point of the game, but the point of how you make your character is customization. You can choose to do what you want. If you choose to go 100% flat damage balls to the wall, you're going to struggle with your sustain. If you choose to go fuck tons of sustain and no damage, you're going to struggle with your damage. So it's about balancing it out, and it's your choice on how you make it. What some people do is they make a full-out glass cannon, spam abilities really, really fast, and cry because they ran out. Now, if you have a glass of water and you drink a little bit and put it down, you drink a little bit more and put it down, eventually it's going to run out, but not quite as quick as someone that just goes and tips it out, because that's what they do. Now, if you want another drink, you go to the tap and fill it back up. they're not filling it back up. They're just sitting there going, where the fuck is my drink? That's sustain in a nutshell, basically. But, again, they're reducing it, so that means people have more glass cannon type stuff that they can get away with because the costs are coming down. Some areas I can see that being a benefit, others I think it will just make bad habits, but we'll see. Especially when it comes to dummy humping, because you see people using false gods on the fucking in content, but then they use Sororia on the dummy, because the dummy can give you fake sustain, or simulated sustain, if you like, whereas those people don't actually have that simulated sustain in their own groups. And then in content they have to switch it out, so it's just fucking stupid numbers competition. But maybe this will fix a little bit of that, and people will actually be able to use what they're using on their test, if you like, or their practice in content as well, so they kind of match out, rather than saying one thing and doing a fucking another. Saying his dinner waitress lady coming to warm up my coffee. Warm up the top of your coffee. That's a really good way of describing it, actually. That's pretty good. I hate that I have to log out to change characters. I don't know what else you want to... I don't know what to tell you, dude. Of course you have to log out. You go back to the character select screen. Oh my god. Bob Weaven, Navy, Brad, Volron, Deathbringer, Sattler, Meki, Christina, DJ & Co. Congratulations. You have all managed to survive the guards' moody behavior, snuck out of the Vivek Vault, stolen stuff, and everyone else who went in got tripped up. You should have brought socks. Resto LT, Life Giver. Fix an issue where casting this ability would fail to trigger events that required when applying damage shield, since the ability automatically casts shields. Okay. Berserkers Strike. Fix an issue where this ability and its morphs couldn't proc your Soul Lock passive. Reduce the damage done by this ability and its morphs by approximately 16% to better account for the fact that it ignores mitigation. We knew that was coming because that's OP as fuck. That was way overpowered. But depending on how you stack your damage anyway, I don't think that's going to be a massive, massive difference. If you're going to wreck someone with it, you're going to wreck them anyway. But yeah, they take away a fuck ton of resistance. In fact, all of them. Berserker Rage. Fix an issue where this ability did not grant immunity to snares and immobilizers. Good, because that's annoying when stuff doesn't work. Heavy Weapons. Fix an issue where the bleed from this passive was not consistent with the proc condition. Dizzying Swing. This morph now stuns enemies who are already off balance. Oh, so you double dip. So you knock them off balance with the first one, and then stun the fuckers with the next one. Fair. So it's got a further detrimental effect. Dizzy first, then stunned. It's like a crack, worse stuff happen. That's the best way I can describe it, because why the fuck not? Crack, worse. You can quote that if you want. Unstoppable Brute. This cost reduction of CC break. This ability is now properly linked to the major resolve it grants, and will increase in duration with bonuses such as Yorville's, but will also be lost if a longer source of major resolve is applied. Okay. Hi Zai, hi everyone, new here, but I have been appreciating your videos for a while. Thank you very, very much, and thank you for the sub. Hugely appreciated. Imagine that, I know, right? Vampire. The stun from this ability, drain
I
instance.
love winnings. Drinks all
Thank you very
around.
much for the follow. And its morphs will now occurs when the cast is complete rather than when it begins. Oh shit. Fix an issue where casting this ability in rapid succession could cause it to get stuck and cause animation issues. Yeah, because if you cast it and then stopped, it would stop the ability, but the blood draining visual would still be there. That's been there for a long time, actually. This is dirty, because this at the moment stuns and then drains, whereas now it's going to drain and then stun, which is we'll see. That might be, I don't know, actually. If you look at it this way, when you stun someone in PvP with this, and you're draining from them, and they break free and leg it, they could get out of the whole beam, if they're quick. But if you're draining up against them, like close range, by the time they've realised it's on them, you've already done the full duration, and then bang, they're stuck. So that might,
Winning. I love winnings.
might be
Drinks
better.
all around.
But on paper, that looks scary. Thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Fix numerous issues where light attacks and heavy attacks from werewolves attack Weaven could cause desyncs in animations and with other abilities, such as Pierce and Howl. Confirmed, that was a pain in the ass. Fix an issue where you could stay in werewolf form indefinitely in some areas within trials. So their timer didn't work, I guess. Pounds fix an issue where this ability would fail to properly animate the leap. This will result in more time of defenders to respond and attack as well. Yeah, because you literally just ended up where they were. You didn't see any animation at all. Meteor, Shoot, and Star Morph. This ability no longer grants ultimate for hitting corpses. I probably should say that that's a good thing, but it was a little funny to see. So, sure, that had to be fixed. Boo. Concentrated Barrier. This passive more accurately describes a proc condition. Bummer indeed. I know, right? That's like when you had those mud balls and they used to give you ultimate, and now you can't. I know it's a bug, but I kind of like that bug. Fixed an issue where the synergy of this morph was granting a damage shield larger than it's stated, so that's actually as intended. Trapping Webs. Fixed an issue where this ability and its morphs were being considered as damage over time instead of melee damage in some cases. Alliance War Support Barrier. Fixed an issue where the visual effects of this shield would fail to persist if the original shield was refreshed. Belungdrun, however you fucking pronounce that. Updated many of the damage and scaling modifiers of Daedric Artifact to better match their ability standards. So, increase the damage of light attacks to 1725. Increase the damage of however the hell you pronounce that. Rooken's Rebek, I don't know. To 1555. Increase the damage of Malakat's Revenge to 1575. Decrease the damage of Vokai's Charge by 1700. And decrease the damage of the Cyclone ability by 2125 per tick. So you feel like you're God mode now, I guess, because you got higher damage. Good. Oh, this one's gone down, actually. These two have gone down. But this has all gone up. All your basic stuff. Malakat's Revenge updated this ability to better match its visual effects, resulting in a 700 millisecond cast time. This will fix numerous issues where this ability could cause health desyncs or hit targets who had appeared to dodge. Updated this ability better to match its visuals, resulting in 600 milliseconds cast time. This will now fix numerous issues where this ability could cause health desyncs or hit targets that appear to dodge as well. So those both had issues, now altered. Fixed an issue where this ability could pull targets through walls. Fixed an issue where this ability's damage did not properly match its visuals. This will result in reducing the delay of the first attack to 0.5 seconds down from 2, resulting in 3 additional ticks of damage. Fair enough. So that's why they obviously reduced this, because you're actually getting more ticks of damage, so they bring this down a little bit. Itemization updates. Here we go. JK, how you doing? Thank you very, very much indeed. Hugely appreciated. Bit and Cake in the chat. 500,000 damage done to our current Dragonborn. Don't forget, of course, if you do kill the Dragonborn, you will take this place in the stream. I have to kill you instead. Dragonborn in the chat, please. Thank you very much. Now, what do we got? Updated mini item sets that key off the act of actively holding block, dubbed bracing, to use this terminology in their respective tooltips. This will prevent confusion where they are not meant to work with abilities that allow you to block without needing to brace, such as Shield Wall. This will prevent confusion where they are not meant to work with abilities. Okay, fine. Fixed an issue where poisons. Thank you for the links. That dealt damage would inconsistently apply the poison status effect when compared to damage over time effects. They will now all properly have a 3% chance to apply status per tick. Ooh.
I love winning.
Thank you,
Drinks
Wickerman.
all around.
Much appreciated. Danish him. Paul, you legend. Come on, come on. Where's the... There it is. Happy anniversary. Shit, you've been here a year, dude. Thank you very, very much.
Dragonborn.
He's Dragonborn too. Oh, nice. You know the rules, people. The fight starts again from scratch. If you kill that Dragonborn, you will take his place in the stream. I have to kill you instead. Paul is on the throne. You have to kill him to get rid of him. And then you'll take his place, obviously. You have to get the kill him blow, though. Fix an issue where poisons would not use your highest crit strike chance. That's weird. Attempted to drink a potion while unable to drink no longer plays the sound effect that you actually drank the potion since you didn't. That is fucking annoying, because in laggy situations, or when you're dodge rolling, or in certain areas, you can hear it click. So it's confirmed that you took it, but it didn't fucking work. So that's altered. Fix an issue where some potions could be activated while stunned. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to do shit while you're stunned apart from break free. I'm glad I'm not the only one. No, dude, it happened on my stream and everything. Snipe Dragonborn. Fix an issue where some poisons would proc effects that required a potion, to be consumed. You shouldn't be drinking those. Yeah, you shouldn't be drinking those. So basically that would be like Clever Alchemist proccing from you using a poison. Like you drank it, but you didn't. Item sets. Affliction. Fixed an issue where this set would apply Minor Defile and have 15% chance to apply Disease. And it will now always apply Disease status effect instead, since the debuff applies to Minor Defile already. Correct. So, Disease damage does apply Defile. And you shouldn't have that and that. Or that for a chance to that. That's fucking weird. Alien C, thank you very much. Hugely appreciate it. Of course, bit of cake in the chat. Thank you very, very much. Archmage, this set now properly triggers off restoration heavy attacks. Ashen Grip, one of my favorite sets actually. Even though it's really fuck off low tier stuff, still love it. This set no longer forces your character into an animation, potentially getting stuck or displaying odd behaviors. Fixed an issue where this set didn't properly trigger off of all melee attacks. And remove the 10% proc chance and increase the damage on activate to 5350 from 1118. You know the breathing fire from Ashen's Grip? That just got buffed by fucking loads. It just times it by 4 almost. I need PC. PS4 is terrible. It's really not. I main on PS4. You're talking to the wrong person about complaining about the console game. It's fine. It's got bugs like everything else, but the game itself still plays very, very well. Updated this setup of Orin's Thunder, by the way. Taught it to much better match the proc requirements. Fix an issue where this set wouldn't work, with some melee attacks. And decrease the damage per tick to 1147 from 1285. That's not a massive drop. I'm not too mad about that. It hits like a truck anyway. Ashen Grip is a good set. I'm going to go back to it now. It's good anyway. I use it when I'm leveling up sometimes. Briarheart. Here we go. This set no longer has a hidden 1 second cooldown on the heal. But the heal has been decreased to 378 down from 609. Now it's flat anyway and it can't crit. So, I mean, although that is, 33% off almost. Because nearly 400. It's not, I don't think there's going to be a massive difference. And your healing received or healing taken is going to buff that anyway. So you'll probably still hit around the 450 mark. Increase the weapon damage bonus of this set from 450 to 450 from 499 for prettier number. Really? Oh, shit. Increase the proc chance to 25% up from 10. That's going to happen a lot more often. That's fucking stupid. So, your weapon damage is technically unaffected because only 1. But the proc chance is up like hell. So you'll probably have a much better control of that. You get my Briarheart quest daggers. Go get them. Get them. Claw of the Queen. You're going to have to wait, Riley. I'm reading through them. Fix an issue where this set did not proc using your Trifocus passive. Whoops. That should. Because the taunt. Oh well, now it does. Updated the in-combat check for this item set to be more accurate with what the client states. Increase the duration of the bonus to 20 seconds up from 15. That's actually really hot shit. Increase the weapon and spell damage to 675 up from 661. I mean, if you start stacking bonuses, yeah, sure, the 14 increase will be a bit higher later on, but you'd have to have pretty high weapon or spell damage to actually really benefit from that increase. I don't think that's a massive change. Although this, an extra 25% increase almost. Well, it's not actually. It's another 5 seconds on top, so that would be on top of this. If we go backwards. Let's just say it was 25% less effective than it is now. That's actually quite helpful. 5 seconds is a long time if you're in PvP, especially if you're in a duel or something like that. So overall, the biggest thing about this change is this. The duration. Especially if you're using bonuses to make your potions last shorter times and be able to proc them quicker. That's pretty nuts. You come here, bye-bye. Who come here, bye-bye? Oh, Hero come, bye-bye. I read that wrong. Batman's going to farm Briarheart, just in case you didn't know. Kirsty, fix an issue where this set would fail to proc off ultimates or mend wounds. This set now has an 8-second cooldown per target rather than overall. Increase the Magicka restore to 678 up from 600. Again, it's a small increase. It's nice, but whatever. Fix an issue where this set shared a cooldown with Stendar's Embrace. Yeah, they shouldn't be the same. Dolly Mesh. This set now properly works on feared targets. Reduce the cooldown to 4 seconds from 7. That's fucking dirty. And increase the damage done to 12.5k from 12k-ish. So, the damage increase is not massive. Obviously, due to the fact that the cooldown is a lot shorter. So, this may get a little bit of attention now. The 7 seconds was a bit obscure. 4 seconds, that's a fast, controlled proc, if you like. So, pretty nice. Fixed an issue where this set could activate Shield Wall or its morphs were active. I don't recall that one. My brain is farred. Let's check it in the chat. My brain has stopped working. Dialogue. Oop, done it wrong. Set. Dialogue. We'll use Wheeler's bot. There we go. Server error. Oh, that's fucking great. I don't remember what that does. We'll come back to it. Unless someone wants to put it in the chat. Destructive Mage. Don't break this. I use it. This sets explosion. Oh, no, I don't. That's the one from the trials. That's the one where you heavy attack and it pops. The set's explosion can now be triggered by any heavy attack rather than only allies. Nasty in PvP.
Winning. I love winning.
Thank you very much.
All around.
Reduce the cooldown and application of this to 4 seconds from 10. Good. Now that is a fucking game changer. Restore stats while sneaking. Oh, so people are using the block ulti for it? Fair. Got it. Yeah, that shouldn't work because you're sneaking. This is filth. I've tested this set fucking countless times. Obviously, if you've used the Easy Sork, you know that I use a heavy attack kind of heavily inside the rotation. Although, technically, there's only 2 heavy attacks and there's like 4 light attacks, so whatever. Technically, a light attack build if you want to look at it like that. But this set was also tested a shit ton because you heavy attack, puts a bomb on a target, someone else heavy attacks it, bang. Sounds like it would be quite helpful for the group. But we tested it loads and loads and loads, and they didn't stack up. They ended up having just 1 cooldown, and it was just every 10 seconds 1 goes off. Whoopee fucking do. 4 seconds, however, that may now hold some weight. So that would be interesting to see. Decrease the damage done in explosion to 6575 down from 7500. Yeah, of course, stacking eventually that would actually be quite high here, and it sometimes was. It was around the sort of 12k mark, fully buffed up. This will probably still hit somewhere between 10 and 11, so I'm not mad at that. This versus this, it doesn't feel like we had a balance with the cooldown versus the damage. It looks like the damage has been touched very slightly, but the cooldown has been drastically fucked with. So overall, this would actually pump out more DPS now than it did before. Does it proc off overloads? Unfortunately, it did not. It might do, but it didn't at the time. It has to be a fully charged heavy attack. So if it does any more, it's a bug. Because overload you can just hold forever, unless you run out of juice. Doom Ripper Scouts, fixed an issue where this set would not activate while Shield Wall or its morphs were active. Elf Bane, oh yeah, that's the one that gives you resistances while blocking. So the only way to check the stats on that is either on PC or, that's pretty much it, with add-ons. Fix an issue where this set wasn't properly applying some tooltips. Increase the duration bonus of this set. Fuck off. Fuck off. Okay, for anyone that doesn't know what this does, this increases flame damage over time, skills, and procs by 2 seconds. So if it lasts 10, it lasts 12. If it lasts 15, it lasts 17. If it lasts 20, it lasts 22. You get the idea? That increases it by 5 seconds. That is absolutely batshit. That's insane. 5-second duration increase, and that did stack with Xan. So that just broke Xan again. Before it used to last 7 seconds instead of 5, now it lasts fucking 10. And that one gets 50% stronger every tick. This was already a relatively strong choice for Flame Wielders. Now, that is going to get altered before it goes live. There's no way that's going to hit live. That's fucking crazy. That also means, oh my fuck. Groftar, 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down. 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down. Yeah? 100% uptime on Groftar. Yuck. Fucking yuck. Oh, I really, really like this. So, we're going to fuck with that later. Why not? You can get Xan easily. Why not? You can get... I'm not sure what your OP is. I don't mean to go backwards. Xan is OP with Elf Bane. Yep. Why not? You can get out of Xan easily. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about as a counter. I'm talking about as its application. Like you being the one casting it, not being on the receiving end. So Broken's I hate it so much he actually started to like it. Yeah, I am. What? Fuck not. Xan, Elfbane, and Elemental Cessation feel my Firebeam. It's going to be nuts. Maybe there is an add-on which opens bags instantly. I have no idea. I don't use any add-ons apart from combat metrics and my own add-on. Everything else I just ignore it. So someone in the chat might be able to answer that. Engine Guardian fixed numerous issues. So we're going to go back to this. We're going to check this out. Fixed numerous issues with this set's cooldown for abilities where the sphere could cast. Fix an issue where this set would leave the mortal realm if you entered deep water while it was active. Essence Thief. We'll have a look at this because I tested this with elsewhere at ZeniMax Online Studios when they finally changed it, and it's still a little bit awkward, although fun. This set now procs off light attacks or heavy attacks instead of only light. That's a bit of a game changer. Fix an issue where this set could proc off friendly targeted light attacks. Okay, so the fact they've introduced the heavy on that, I'm quite happy with. We'll have to revisit it. I don't see it too strong in PvP. I don't think that was even an issue. Nobody said that in the chat. Okay, fine. Eternal Hunt. Fix an issue where this set was considered damage over time instead of direct damage. Yep, because that's a pop, and it should be. Gleeman's Revenge. This set now only requires 5 stacks to trigger, down from 6. Now, that's the one where you put a bomb on the target and stack, 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 boom. Increase the damage done to 9630 from 4730. That is a substantial increase. That's almost, well, just over double. Or almost double even. So, nice. Added a 1 second cooldown to applying stacks. Okay, so they've brought it up to a faster proc, but then they've added the delay. Off to run Frostbolt. Have a good one. See you later, Bo. Thank you very much for watching. Go off that for the win. Hi, Zion Ninjas. How you doing, Rav? Welcome to the stream. That is annoying as well, because any sets like that where you have to do a fully charged heavy attack, it's a lot easier to do a lightning or resto one. And if it wasn't working, sure, that needed to be fixed. Ice Furnace. Please do something nice to this set. This set no longer requires direct damage with a proc chance to trigger. Longer requires direct damage with a proc chance to trigger. Okay. That needs to be explained a little better as to how it applies then. Because if this set no longer requires direct damage, does it just proc with all damage? It wasn't explained. We can assume, but assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups. We'll have to test it. Increase the damage to 1644 from 1056. That on that end looks quite low, but that's a pretty substantial increase as well. So we'll have to check that one out. Did not hear that due to turtles dancing around overpowered with your talking voice. What happened? That was ages ago. What did you miss? It's Frost direct damage set. No, I'm aware of what it is. It says you don't need direct damage anymore. So, is it all damage of that type? Or is it damage over time only, or whatever? I would assume it's everything, but again, like I said, I'm not going to clearly assume. We have to test it. Because otherwise, that's how people make fake builds. They're like, hey, put this together. It works. Gotta try it. We'll see. And if it's bugged, they'll have to fix it. But this before was decent, but it just didn't really proc that much. So, we'll see. Again, if that does work the way it's intended, with that very vague description of just removing the direct. With the Warden passive, again, this could be pretty handy, although that can't crit, so be aware of that. Ice Heart, fix an issue where this set was considered direct damage instead of damage over time. That was hit and miss, because that is on the Nature's Bounty build, and that does actually ticks towards a Zerblight most of the time. So if that was buggy and fucking up, now people that use that setup are going to find an additional tick. So again, that was working in most situations, but if it did have any issues, hopefully you won't have any issues with that anymore. Danny here, my Twitch account has been hacked and I can't log in. I've got to wait for them to sort it out. Okay. Use 2-step verification, dude. And also, don't tell people you got hacked, because they'll just find an excuse to try and do it again. How you doing anyway? Welcome back to the stream. QF69, how you doing? Infallible Mage, fix an issue where the set's damage amp was not properly applying to all heavy attacks. Note, minor vulnerability now follows its tooltip and requires fully charged to apply. So,
Winning. I love winnings. Drinks all around.
thank you very much Fixed an issue where this set's damage amp was not properly applying to all heavy attacks. So certain ones weren't applying, but now they will be. Nice. We'll test that as well. This set now procs when you apply a damage shield ability on yourself or an ally. So Infernal Guardian now has another use. So if you give other people a damage shield, it can still fire. Update the tooltip to better reflect the proc conditions for this set and fix numerous issues where it would not obey listed and intended proc conditions. There are some damage shields that weren't applying it, which was a bit weird. Where do I get the 12 mil raid dummy from for my house? You have to construct them or buy them from the Crown store. So I recommended pass phrases instead of just password. The longer the better. People will try anything, especially if you challenge them. So it's best to just add extra security if you can. Loki, please don't fuck this up. This set now gains major evasion rather than a unique buff. They don't stack no more, fuckers. Remove the healing reduction from this set. Okay, fine. Remove the penalty from area of effect damage to 15 down to 20, down from 25. So this has been nuked. That used to stack with major evasion, and if you're a DK tank and you're using Dragon Blood, this area of effect healing reduction for you didn't mean shit's bit of difference because you didn't do any area of effect heals. How much is it? I have no idea. I can't remember. So that got nuked quite significantly. And also, I mean, this does have kind of DPS-ish type stats to it with Major Evasion. But then we've also got another set with Major Evasion on anyway, which is Hisbark. So, I mean, one's crafted, one's not. One's got different stats, blah, blah, blah. But the same 5-piece bonus. I don't think that's going to last very long. We'll see with that one. You'll have to check, you will. Monarchina, reduce the increased cost penalty. Fuck off. No fucking way. Reduced the increased penalty cost of Monarchina to 8% down from 20. So they reduced the area of effect cost and they've reduced a penalty on a set that dramatically increases your damage versus your other abilities as well. So before, obviously, your abilities would cost more, but they hit harder. That still happens, but the reduction is low. That literally just flat out counters false gods. That's it. Yes, 6k crowns, I believe. This is disgusting. That is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Kina back to builds. Yeah, indeed. Makonnen, this set now properly mentions its cooldown in the tooltip. Good, because that was a bit obscure. Fixed an issue where the light attack from this set would snare enemies. Fixed an issue where the damage dealt from this set's attack were highly inconsistent. They were inconsistent. You'd do little light attacks occasionally, then there'd be a sweep, which is AoE, and then it would click, 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 sweep. It was never really in order. Remove the proc chance from this item set. So what, it's up all the time? Nice, so you just light attack, and it's... Again, I'm not going to assume, we'll have to check it.
Drinks all
looks
around.
Good. Embrace the Monarchina Master Race. Thank you for the follow. Prisoner's Rags. Fix an issue where this set was not providing the correct amount of magical while sprinting. Robes of the Hist. Fix an issue where this set would fail to properly activate against snares under certain conditions. Skaven Mage. This set no longer considers the first tick of damage over... Sorry, let me read this again. This set no longer considers the first tick of each damage over time as direct damage. The set no longer requires critical strike to proc, and reduce the duration and cooldown to 5 seconds from 6. So you don't have to crit it, basically. You can just hit stuff and it's off you go. So that might be up a lot more. And it's got a fucking high uptime anyway. Nice. Red Mountain updated the tooltip with this set to better represent the proc conditions. That is pretty obvious for most. Chaotic Gamer, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much indeed. Hugely appreciated. Beer and cake in the chat. So it's penalty decrease for Morlag. What? It's penalty decrease for Morlag. Yes, that's exactly what I just said. I have no idea why you keep repeating what I'm already saying. It was 20%. It's now 8. Yes, that was clear. Did you already say something about the cost reductions? Rip Ashcard. Nah, getting there. Doing stuff. Cost reductions have been altered for reasons.
Winning. I love winning.
Thank you very much. Hugely appreciated. I'll get to that because I do have information on it. Fix an issue where it wouldn't proc under certain situations. Read that. Skaven Mage read that. This one is quite clear. I mean, I don't know why anyone's confused about it because I do explain this in my build videos quite a bit. But they've updated it anyway, so it makes more sense. Apparently people are confused. Fair enough. Fix an issue where this set would fail to proc on any tick of poison injection damage over time. Increase the damage on sheer venom to 9660, up from 8428. But that's over time, so I mean, obviously you can increase that with stats and all the rest of it, but it's not massive. I still really or rarely use the set, unless maybe I'm using it in PvP, which is quite fun. Digs out mod I can from the back shelf of my bank. Need to work Red Mountain back into the build. It's so fun. Murder in the chat. Murder in the chat. It's on Murder of Fire. It's never left it. Stormmaster fixed an issue where this set would fail to proc off Overload, despite it being thematically appropriate to do so. Increase the damage. Jack is going to like that. If he's here, he uses that all the time. Fixed an issue where the damage was considered a proc rather than direct damage. Fair enough. Harbinger, this set now deals damage based on 6% of your max health instead of 4. See, that used to be 5 or 6 anyway. Then it got dropped, and now it's obviously gone back up again. The set continues to deal damage regardless of the range from the attacker. Ooh, nice. So ranged attackers get nuked. Helpful. Even Zion Ninjas. Plana, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Tormentor now works properly with Explosive Charge. Scoria fixed an issue where this set could proc off other procs. Olorimes fixed an issue where this set would trigger off siege weapons. Jesus fucking Christ. Vykosa, this set now reduces the enemy's spell and weapon power by 2, 6, 8 instead of applying major maim. So I'll go back on what I said earlier. Increase the duration to 8 seconds and reduce the cooldown to 12. That is a very nice debuff, because that will stack with major maim and with other reduction to damage setups, including mending, weapon and spell reduction glyphs, and all that fucking jazz. That, again, now holds a bit more weight. I like that one. Patch notes are in the chat. Thank you very much. Where Fire uploaded the tooltip to better represent the proc condition. Again, this one I don't think that was really confusing. I mean, it's great that they're rewording things so people understand it, but that was quite clear. Wild Impulse fixed an issue where this set's damage over time could not stack for multiple players. That did stack in PvE though. Will the Queen's Arts fixed an issue where this snare would stack with other snares. Yuck. Wrath of Imperium fixed an issue where this set was not properly granted this bonus to all 3 hits of Force Shock and its morphs. That was the ranged increase crit, because they reworked that last update, which didn't have the same requirement though since the change to Vykosa. What? Just no. It's the requirement for it is fine, but the fact that they've changed it completely from major maim to a flat debuff means it now stacks. You should have seen Fenris rage about Vykosa. Rage. Everyone's got an opinion. I quite like it. If you don't like it, you don't have to. It's fine. Battlegrounds. Have you read this bit already? Because I kind of already knew. You can now only queue as a solo player in Battlegrounds. Well fucking done. Fucking amazing. Fuck off, pre-mates. Oh, man. This is a big change to Battlegrounds matchmaking, which we are executing partially in response to a player feedback and partially as an experiment. We recognize the change will prevent players from being able to reliably team up with their friends in Battlegrounds. Go to Cyrodiil. But it should also improve both the speed of matchmaking and competitiveness of PvP matches. As part of the change, we are resetting the matchmaking rating MMR of all players, so going forward the system more properly evaluates individuals based on their performance in a solo queue. We'll be closely monitoring both player feedback and impact in these changes on the system. All game modes for Ald Karek now using the initial launch version of the map as well. That is quite possibly, so far, of all the I like it or I don't like it, that is so far the best fucking change. You will see me in Battlegrounds. That is awesome. People have been avoiding that fucking place like the plague, because all you do is you go in, there's 4 fucking wardens, all racking permafrost and trees and nerf gore and shulks, and you just can't fucking kill them. It's a waste of time. Or there's a sneaky necro every time the 3 wardens die. They're just, rezzed. It was broken as fuck. Sure, you can still do that, but now you have to communicate with your team and literally gel quicker or run off in YOLO, rather than one way or no way, you'll never kill them. cuts waiting on slots to fill for the groups too. Of course it does. That was obviously a goal as well. But gameplay-wise, because let's face it, people do like to play the game, that is going to be a lot more fucking enjoyable. Haven't played BGs since Somerset released. You will now. Rito, you can do so much in Cyrodiil for 4 decent PvPers. Well, that's the thing. If you want big or small group PvP, Imperial Sea, Sewers, Cyrodiil. I mean, how big is the fucking map in Cyrodiil? It's one of the biggest maps in the game. What else do you want? Battlegrounds is supposed to be quick fire, get in, get out, smash stuff, earn points, enjoy it. And people aren't enjoying it. They haven't been for a fucking long time. Even content creators have just gone, fuck Battlegrounds. It's full of pre-made aids. This is absolutely amazing. Hopefully they stick to that. Equip Battlegrounds back in the summer. Excellent. So, this is a highlight. This is a massive, massive, massive plus. I'm actually quite excited about that. I might even be streaming in Battlegrounds for a bit. Did it before in the past. Too many pre-mades, fucking shit. But now it looks good. Art and animations, we're not going to go too far into that because we can't see shit. Audio, we're not going to go into. Fixed an issue where sound of the door closing. No, not. Combat and gameplay. Fixed an issue where objects between camera and your character could be selected rather than objects under the cursor between your character and in front of you. This has ultimately improved precision targeting while in third-person view. Monsters, in general, have had some fixes. Fixed an issue where stats on monsters summoned by other monsters were sometimes incorrect. Fixed an issue where attacking a monster from a group would not aggro the rest of the group. Bruise will now be set off balance when focus charge is blocked. Oil can no longer hit multiple times. That's from a foot soldier, by the way. If anyone's half listening, that wasn't a PvP change. Harpy Retreat and Harpies now retain their initial facing as their backup. Okay, so they fly backwards. Pre-made aids. Fixing an issue where focus healing could target gameplay objects like Frost Mage, Ice Barrier, and Shadow Mage, Shadowy Duplicate. Spriggans no longer buff player pets with Control Beast. Boo! World bosses, you now receive proper loot when both how the fuck do you say that? Manskadi or Manskadai and Olgurus in Eastmarch have been defeated. Is that the fucking... Is that the giant and the mammoth? It's not, is it? I don't remember. Crafting economy. Fixed an issue where deconstructing multiple items at a time provided less inspiration than deconstructing one at a time.
I love winning.
Good.
Drinks all
Thank you for the
around.
follow. Much appreciated. Made minor text adjustments to smaller numbers of motifs. Fixed print of refabrication, motif, books, and chapters. Oh, they were numbered as 53, which was already occupied by the Sacy, which was now number 79. Okay, that's a good way to search them, by the way, on the guild tools, the guild search even. If you know the number of the motif, just put that in and you'll find all of them. Generally, anyway, unless any other items have got stuff in there. We're going to go straight to this. Dungeons. The Kindfear Herder, Banish Cells 1. The quest Banishing the Banished will no longer advance by only defeating the monsters surrounding the boss. So you could kill the ads and just lag it. That's no longer a thing. I think it's a giant mammoth. People tried the gold farm there because the mammoth dropping loot. Yeah, pretty much. Death Leviathan and Crypt of Farts. Big smart, thank you. There's some good stuff. Death Leviathan is less likely to wander beyond the playable area, so no more leaving the map. Paralyzing Stomp will no longer knock your character through doors. Darkshade Caverns Hive Lord. The Hive Lord's Bound and Strike will no longer try to target players behind walls. Darkshade 2. The Transmuted Elites. The 3 of them. Or Alits. How do you want to pronounce it? The 3 that have to die at once, otherwise they get back up again. No longer have a chance to revive if the last one is down just before the others prepare to resurrect. Players attacking the Transmuted Elites will no longer continue to channel abilities on them after they cannot take damage. So you won't get stuck in a Jesus Beam on a dead one. Fix an issue where you can activate the level before you should. So cheaty Dire Frost people. No. Dragonstar Arena. Completing the Dragonstar Arena and stepping into the light on the far left and far right will once again lift you into the approving areas of Boethia. So basically you got 4 lights and you all go through one each and you go
I
into
love winning. Drinks
the
all
left
around.
and right were broken. Nash, thank you very much for the follow. So the disturbance ability used by knights now has an appropriate harmful telegraph. So Dragonstar in the chat, please, or DSA, or is it VDSA? Someone find it for me. The negative Nova. That was a problem. Stark, thank you very much. Give your account, holy shit. Hey there, dude. Welcome to the stream. Stark is in the chat, people. Beer and cake in there for him. Thank you very, very much indeed. Another member of the Tenets group, by the way, which I recently joined. How do we call ourselves? We haven't decided whether it's a trio or a trifecta or whatever yet. Anyway, part of the podcast team now, so you see regular updates on that. By the way, put Tenets in the chat and you'll see the most recent podcast, or hear the most recent podcast, which was yesterday, which was me, Stark, Kyle, and Cash from Law Seekers. So go and have a listen if you've got some time. But yeah, this was a negative Nova, and I said to people in the video, watch out, that's a negative Nova, get out of it. Now you'll see the Telegraph to know that's stupid, don't stand in it. Fungal 1, Tazcad the Packmaster, that's the first one, isn't it? When the Packmaster is victorious, the rest of his pack will now return to his side. Packmaster will now be defeated should he perish. Okay. War Chief, that's the next boss, is victorious. His lieutenants will now return to his side. Have people been killed on these? Have you? If you've been killed on these, you need to go and watch All About Mechanics videos and then never have that embarrassment again. You must learn to kill these guys. Bloodbirther's Brood will now share the same fate as Bloodbirther should it perish before they do. I've never seen anybody kill the boss before the ads, but I'm glad they're keeping an eye on bugs like that. We've been co-hosts, so that still works. Okay, co-hosts works. We're cohabiting on podcast. Krag, the Drew King, you know, the one that has the big pop at the end that everybody falls into, even if they've been playing the game for fucking years and still can't get no death on it. Any new tunes coming with this DLC as to play as? No. There's new content and new updates to loads of stuff, though. So, Krag's Mud Crabs will no longer stick around when Krag is defeated. See, this is hilarious, because Fungal 1 is a very basic, very short base game dungeon. And some of the most obscure bugs have been found. Like, people being killed by the first and second boss and the ads don't reset. The three... Dreg or Drews, how do fuck you pronounce them? Dregs, I guess. Those things, people have killed the boss before the ads. And then the last boss, the fucking mud crabs keep getting stuck. I've not seen any of this. It's quite funny. I'm glad they're on top of it, though. I mean, needed to be fixed, clearly, because there's enough bugs. Fungal 2, Spawn of Mephala. Spawn of Mephala will no longer attempt to follow players outside of her fight space. So you can reset the boss. Vaults of Madness, the Cursed One.
I love winnings. Drinks all around.
Alfie, thank you very much. The Monster That Company, the Cursed One, no longer grant experience or items, so you can't grind it. No cheating. For years I thought that was pronounced Drew. Now we know it's Dreg. Well, down. I mean, I call it Drew, but whatever. I always call the set Drew Kingslayer. Still call it the same. Who pronounced it for us to make sure it's correct? Because I'm sticking with it. I don't really care. Okay, Algona Soul Reaver, that's the Harvester. What are your thoughts on the new solo queue for Battlegrounds? I feel like it's a really bad change. Quite the opposite. I just went over it a moment ago. So you're on queue with the stream. You're actually on time, so I have gone over that, so I can talk about it. That is going to be a game changer because there are so many people that don't fucking play Battlegrounds. They refuse to play it. There's content creators across the world that won't fucking play it because it's rigged to shit with pre-mades and it spoils the game. Being able to solo queue means you can just go in, have a quick game, smash people to fuck, and get out again. If you want to go in groups and shit, there's a massive, massive map called Cyrodiil. There's Imperial City, and there's also the sewers. You can still do that as much as you like. Maybe they'll add stuff later, who knows. But for now, really happy that the solo queue is a thing. Adds a little bit more balance there, because now you never know what you're going to get on all sides, rather than always going against that four-man group that you can't do shit against. Then what do people do who want to play together? Cyrodiil. Base game had fucking PvP for groups in it, and it's still got it. I clear Fungal Grotto like I'm Emperor's Angel of Death. To be fair, the real pronunciation is nothing like any of those according to the original name. So we're all wrong. Nice. My girlfriend hates Cyrodiil and Battlegrounds was the only thing we could do together. Well, you can still queue up at the same time. Or you can fight each other, or you can use Imperial City, or you can use the sewers. I mean, the choices are there. It's just up to you whether you like it or not. Adjust the target position of Death's Head to avoid him walking into another encounter as part of the intro. Oh, so he can charge into other fights. Ancient One's force equilibrium ability is now... That music's too loud. Let's turn that shit down. There we go. Much better. Or not. Can you hear that still? Just about. The ability spelt correctly, so that's a bug fix. Nice. I'm weird I kill everything if I'm growing. Something about how no one could pronounce the real name, so they just renamed them. Whichever. Jack, how you doing? Did you see the Storm Master set, dude? They buffed it. Quintus Veres will no longer continue to attack players while running away to summon the gargoyle. Itemization, expiration. Updated the text on several monster masks and shoulder pages. Items to clarify that the page consumed once read. We're not going to go over those. Added confetti to dubious command throne to better match the theme of the Jesters Festival. Ooh. Eating a slice of 2019 cake is no longer as shiny as it used to be. What the fuck? Weird. Really weird. We're not going to go over those. Hows and stuff we can't even see. It's like, how do you pronounce? I did not know how to pronounce that. I did. And now I've forgotten. Activity Finder. Receiving a ready check will now automatically cancel a pending leave queue. Confirmation dialogue, because nothing is worse than leaving a queue just as a group was about to form. Fixed an issue where dungeons requiring a champion point amount would not become immediately available after reaching a required level without login or changing zones. Quests I'm not going to go over because they're subjective to whether you're playing them or not. I mean, some of you might be, some of you might not. Gamepad mode, this doesn't quite work. Old school, thank you very much. Thanks for your build. Oh god, my fucking eye is really foggy. He's a murder of crows. You mean murder of fire? Easily the most fun you'll have in ESO. Thank you very, very much indeed. Hugely appreciate it, of course. Bit and Cake in the chat. Thank you very much. Horizontal scroll list, like found in craft menus, will now continue to scroll when holding the directional input. Your error that could occur rapidly selling items in the vendor. That one was really fucking annoying. Fix an issue where your buy crowns button could overlap. Fix an issue where to get me unstuck text would not appear correctly. Fix an issue enchanting screen would stop displaying check mark next to the rune. This is the problem. These are hit and miss. Sometimes they are annoying, sometimes they aren't. Because you kind of just get used to cancel that. But there is one where you're running around and it puts a big blank screen up with a few menu options, but it doesn't really say anything. It's just blank with some tabs. And then you can't get rid of it unless you reload UI. That happens still quite a bit. But I think we're done. So, we are at the end of the reading. We've read them all. Now we have to go on PTS for an hour and fuck around trying out sets. Now, just as a disclaimer, believe it or not, this is my full-time job. So for those of you that have been here for 3 years, you already fucking know. And for those of you that haven't, surprise! Slashlook, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Solo Battlegrounds. Fuck yeah. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to show you a very kind of glazed over what I do behind the scenes on PTS. So I don't need people screaming, hey bro, try this set, try this, try this, try this, you fucking try it. I'm going to be just messing around, going through stuff, and all my testing is done off the stream on purpose, so I don't have those distracted know-it-all stuff. But enjoy it. You're going to see me on PTS in a few moments. So I'm going to just quickly switch this over, log it in. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. So, where's my be right back button? Do I still have that? I don't think I do. I think I'll just have to put an advert up and piss you all off. No, I'm not. Bear with me just one moment. Let me see if I've still got that page. Haven't used Be Right Back for ages. It's got a black background. We can't have that. We need an image in there. Add image. Let's make it the Greymore one, so it's really, really cool. Browse images. Where we got? There it is. By the way, if you haven't seen it already, there's a new how to get good video. Go and check it out. There we go. We'll put this on there. Screenshots, Greymore, because it's amazing. We'll make that look mega. We've got a Be Right Back screen now. Right, I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'm going to be loading up the PTS. We'll be testing out some of the new sets, maybe some of the old sets. We'll see what's happening. You won't get any build information here because here's the most important thing. Nothing is fucking out yet. So calm your tits. Don't panic. Don't think that you're getting information that you're getting it early. You're not. Stuff is coming, yes, but we've got to test stuff. So we're now going to go and check that out. Be back in 2 minutes.
sky that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but they see where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business is humongous, you would think that happens in it. Damn man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Working for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have him yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like, whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song?
Back. We need to hide that. We'll put this on. You can see all my stuff. Game capture. We'll hide that.
Winning. I love winning.
Display.
Drinks all around.
We don't want that. We want that. We got there eventually. So, can you hear me? You can. The microphone's on. Thank God for that. We need to make some other characters. Harrowstorm. We are going to go with. But it doesn't really matter what we go with. Because we just want to put the sets on and see what they do. Max level. Sorcerer. Why the fuck not? Skip tutorial. Don't do that if you're new. So I have a question about Dauntless Deeds required for trial. Oh, sorry, rewards for trials.
Winning. I love winning.
Get my
Drinks
words
all
out in a fucking
around.
minute. My progression group did vet CR +0. Thank you for the follow. Oh shit, we've got a new Dragonborn. Hold on. You know the rules, people. The fight starts to get from track. If you kill that Dragonborn, you'll take his place in stream. I have to kill you instead. Thank you very, very much. Let me get back to that. Last week, got reward in the mail. It wasn't any speed run, etc. So confused as to how we got it on the leaderboard. Reward not on the top 100. Leaderboard scores will give you gear in the mail, and they're not necessarily just the top ones
I
that
love
you can
winning.
see.
Drinks
There
all
have
around.
been recently rewards for just doing it that week. So fuck knows. It's weird. Nox, thank you very much. But it is also using the game as a nickname. Okay, fair enough. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I have no. Where's my controller not working? Let's try that again. Naked. Why is he fucking naked? Gameplay, gamepad mode on. Where the fuck is it? There it is. Wicked. We're in business. Now, this is for new people as well. Actually, something I do when I first start the game. I go into here. Gameplay, combat. I have resource numbers, number and percent. Have ultimate on. Go into buffs. Show everything. When I'm testing stuff, I show it all. When I'm not, I turn off permanent effects because you don't want to see ESO plus in your buff timers because it's a pain in the ass. But that's pretty much it. Also, combat metrics. So I go into here. If you're on controller, you can change it on your control pad or the system itself. But I tend to use the control while testing stuff because it's just quicker. Where the fuck has it gone? I have to allow my add-ons to work again. Boo! Allow all that of the add-ons. Reload. It's been answered a few times now. What has? What does the song plays while you're AFK, name please? That has been answered in the chat several times. If you look at Mr. Fulgers, he just said it a moment ago. Try again. Controls. There you are. Hello. Now that's set. We're in business. I totally missed it. No worries, dude. It's just above you. Hey, what are you lot doing here? Oh, look at the cake! What the fuck? Ha ha!
I love
Fucking
winning.
ninja
Drinks
cake.
all around.
Let's hide that. We'll try again when Captain Jack's out of the way. Thank you for the follow. Do it. Yes. That is the coolest cake in the history of the fucking world. Look at that. Oh, it's gone again. Bastard. So, house. We'll just go and get some fucking privacy so we're not standing there with all the nubs. Chocolate cake. It is indeed. Are you able to show us a new motif style? Nobody, if you can help it, say, do this. Or, can you show me this? Because if I have to allow that, it will be impossible for me to keep up. Because there's like 700 people in the chat right now, and if everybody asks me to do what they want, I'll never get stuff done. So you'll just have to be patient and see what happens. Failing that, you can log on to PTS yourself. But I will be showing stuff, yes. Okay, now. Why is my stream not showing? Stupid fucking thing. It's really bugged out. Oh, there we go. I can see it now. Mazunchin, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Let's see the new stuff. So, we'll go with the dungeon sets. As I do this. No! No this for you. So that's new, and that. No, not that one. That's new. I run my math, Elf Bane, Zan 200k last tick. Good for you! Test it. Never just assume. Assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups. You've got to try it. Where was the other set? It was a medium, wasn't it? Or did I already do that? That's new. That's new. Do that instead. Whiskey? No.
Drinks all around.
Guinness today. Mr. Stark, thank you very much. Hugely appreciate, of course. Bit and cake in the chat. So we'll take all this stuff. We'll actually come back to it. We want to squash shit that we don't need. So I don't want any Telvar sets. I don't really care about the other stuff. I do want to see the new monster sets. So we'll have some of this and some of this. I also want to see Kina, but we'll test that shit later while I'm off stream. If you get a chance, which I'm sure you intend on testing new vampire stuff, wonder what the quest is. I will not be doing requests, but I will be testing a shit ton of stuff. You won't see most of it on the stream. This is the thing. I have literally an hour left, and the more people ask me to show them stuff, the more I have to explain how I'm not going to do that, and then the less stuff you actually see. I do this all day long behind the scenes. This is a little bit of a sneak peek of what goes on, so I would just enjoy it while you can, because it doesn't happen very often. Let's see what these do. So we saw the stats for them, obviously, because we spoke about them, but we do want to see how they work. And where is the friggin' dummy? Throw new to the big screen in the house, just got to sit back and watch. Nice! How you doing, Dragon? Boing, boing. Oh, I can buy a really expensive dummy now, because I'm on PTS. Not the settings. Purchase. Services, down to the bottom. Giant mega dummy. Can you show me? You not showing me? I could do that. That's a one-off. I could do that.
Winning. I love winnings. Drinks
So
all
thank you very
around.
much. Hugely appreciate it, of course. I need to tone down the stream from my end because it looks laggy as fuck because I'm playing everything at once. Tone that down. Now I can see more. Am I lagging at all? Like your end? If I am, that's a problem. Thank you very much. A little bit. We'll turn some of this shit down. It's altered some of my settings. That shouldn't be on. That shouldn't be on. That should be off. That should be on medium. Let's reset some of this stuff. It looks like it's changed some of my settings while the patch has landed. I can run it on full, but not while I'm streaming off the same system. That's a beer, by the way. Frame drops? Yeah, I thought as much. Sub notification volume is supposed to be high. It's on purpose. That's my choice. My system is really struggling. Interesting. We'll have to alter some stuff later. Why is it all fucked? Oh, there we go. My whole stream has gone all fucking doodle-doo. Shell, thank you very much. Twitch. Thank you very much indeed. Hugely appreciate a bit and cake in the chat. I can't even see the chat at the moment because Twitch has decided to take a fucking huge dump. Let me try that again. Create a dashboard. How about now? That should be a lot smoother. Joe, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. So, you should have less lag now. Better? Pardon me. It was changed. All my background settings were changed. That's annoying. Daily rewards, same shit. Much better? Good. It's normally set up like this for streaming anyway, but the new update, which overrode my old PTS, actually changed all my graphical settings. which was a bit annoying. So, let's try some stuff out. We need to put this gear on and see what it does. We don't really need to increase our stats. These are not fucking important, but we'll do it anyway. Champion points aren't really relevant, so let's just put this on and see what it looks like. First of all, wait, that's shiny. 7-piece set. OP. It's fine. Nice. Weapon damage, stamina, weapon damage. When you deal critical damage with a melee ability, summon a lesser Aegis for 12 seconds. After 2.5, you have a lesser Aegis spin in blades, dealing 5k bleed damage every 1 second for 10 seconds. So that's... Oh, this effect can happen once every 10 seconds. This is the one with the 9.5 second uptime, wasn't it? And 0.5 down or whatever. So, melee attack. Stab. Does it be melee attack or melee weapon? Weapon, of course it does. Inventory. We'll use the same set, actually, to save confusion. Whoops, no we won't. Let's use master weapons for fucking shits and giggles. For anyone that's stupid, no, this is not a build. For anyone that's not, laugh your ass off at that, because it is a thing. When is the last day of Twitch drops? I have no idea what's going on with Twitch drops at the moment. You have to check on the ZOS website. Whoa, look at that! Oh, fuck me. That was cool as fuck. Did you see that? Of course you saw that. Hang on. When you deal critical damage with a melee ability. So I got a crit, okay? So let's just hit him with a light attack. So there's the crit. Now see if we can make it fire again while it's still active.
I love winnings. Drinks all around.
Go on, crit, you bastard. Keep critting. 100% uptime. I like that fucking set. That is cool as shit. Oh, man. Whenever that monster set will be viable. It's not a monster set. That's not a monster set. That's fucking awesome. You can do it from a bash as well. And it's a high bleed as a proc. So you could... Oh, God. You could put it on tank and bash it. This class, yeah, it's fucking really cool. How long does a bleed go on for? That's nuts. Wow, but is a word people use because they think it is wow. Yeah, it's also misused a shit ton. People don't even know what it means when they say it. This game is full of choices. The design of this game is choice. And when people are presented with a choice, they don't fucking want one. And when they don't have a choice, they fucking complain. So what can you do? That is cool as shit. I fucking love it. Hey, Zion Ninjas. Just laughing in. Which set is that? This is Aegis Caller helmet. No, oh, wait, Aegis Caller. That's the helmet. That's the chest. Pretty and Dead. Sorry, missed it. But which set is this? Again, it's an Aegis Caller set. So this is a new medium set. This is fucking very, very cool. So let's dump that for now. We're gonna come back to stuff like that later. Oh my god, fucking so good. Looks cool? Yeah, it does. So how laggy will it be with 8 stam DPS used at the same time? Why has someone always got to have a shit about it? We don't know. They're doing performance updates anyway. This is the second one of 3, so it should be better anyway. But instead of people complaining about how the lag might be, how about you test it out and see? Might be really good. Do we know it follows the target? Yes, it does. Well, it follows you, I think. It spins on the thing. What's it called? Spins on your location. It should hit the target because it's the one I'm hitting, but let's see. Oh, I can't move anything, so that can't even be tested. Well, I could if I move. Doesn't stay with me, does it? Nope, stays with the target. That was clear. 160 views. It's nice. Thank you very much. New building, coming murder of spinny killy thingy, calling it now. Is that thing AoE? It is. It's fucking dirt. That also... Oh, no. Right. Stay with me here. We're just going to do this for shits and giggles. Where's medium? Where is it? Remember what I said about the chat? Try not to get ahead of me because, one, no one's impressed, and two, it's really difficult to do this at the speed I'm doing it versus the chat flooding, shouting, I've got really cool ideas. If you have, go on PTS yourself and test it. You will have to be patient while I'm doing this because I can only go so fast. Weapons, we'll have 2 of those. And we'll have the jewelry. This is gonna work. Don't want that. Maybe a good website. I've got a good website. Come on, crit. There it goes. Right, I'm not gonna touch it. Aha! Yeah, it does. It's damage over time. Hello. It does count as damage over time, although it doesn't show like the orange numbers on the target and it's showing the ones above his head. It does count. Doesn't say it's class irrelevant. It's not a class, it's not a build. I did say about 3 minutes ago. So for those of you that were here, enjoy because it was predicted. Good time to go back to work, late ninjas. What time are you back, Joe? From work even. It's gonna go boom. That's really nice. Someone put website in the chat, please. Remember what I said to those of you that are allowed to laugh? You know, I said like people that know this is coming, people that are clever, laugh because it's funny. We'll go back like 2 minutes ago because you can't rewind the stream. If you were here, you know what I'm talking about. Tanks will be hating that or no. Why should they? It's stuff. It's not really in the way. It's big, but it's not like a storm atro that literally blocks your view. It's only the size of a small ad. Not much taller than the skeleton. It's not one of these fuckers, which is huge. And also, since it's landing where I am, I don't think it will be in the way. It's on the target. Rotation and 100% uptime this set could be interesting. Pretty much what I said, but yeah, it has 100% uptime. It's fucking nuts. It's fine because it's not targetable, which means it's not won't steal buffs or be in the way target and wise. It doesn't look like it's going to be in the way. The storm atro, however, someone drops it right on your fucking feet. That's annoying. Yeah, it's melee only. People are going to have to keep up because I am explaining this as I go, and if you miss it and I have to keep repeating it and I've only got an hour left, people are going to literally just have nothing shown. You're not going to get through the stuff. There's so much to see. There's new visuals for your character, motifs, there's housing stuff, there's combat stuff, there's combat changes, there's gear. We're not going to get this all done in an hour. You're not going to see it all. If you do want to see more, Patreon in the chat, there's a secret ninjas perk for that. But honestly, I've got a limited amount of time. You just have to enjoy it while I'm here. Or go on PTS yourself. Should be fine finishing at 2 a.m.-ish, possible a little earlier. Jer, make sure you are. I need to go shoot stuff in Inquisitor Martyr. Actually, that's a massive lie. I'm going to be on PTS. We'll see. So, that was fun. Now we need more fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll take them all. We don't want to proc the other set anyway. We'll just use a full 7-piece set. Then we don't have any other sets interrupting. Oh no, we do actually, because we've got a Zerblight on the weapons. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So this one is... Where's it gone? I'm in combat, obviously. Thank you for the link. Max Magic, Spell Pen, Magicka, Recovery. Direct damage has... Sorry, to the enemy has a 10% chance to place a ghastly curse on your enemy for 6 seconds. Cursed enemies take 503 extra damage from all your damage abilities. This effect can occur once every 6 seconds. So we need a couple of skills on here. We don't have much in the way of resources, so we'll just ding this down for now. So there's the curse. Nope. Let's get rid of a Zerblight, because that's confusing things. It didn't show up as a debuff. Makonnen, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Is this game monthly payment? By choice, yes. You don't have to. You can play it for free as long as you bought the game. But if you do pay monthly, you will get a shit ton of stuff, including all DLCs and a bottomless crafting bag. which is actually very, very good. So there's the class. It looks exactly like a Zerblight. That was why it was confusing. And then it pops and goes away. But while it's on, all of your damage goes up. So we haven't got any stats into this, so we'll see what the basic is for that, which is 558. Nice and simple. Let's proc it. It's not going to go now. Come on. There it goes. 558 turns into... Let's get rid of that bleed. 558 again when it's gone. Fuck
I
it,
love
no.
winnings. Drinks all
Go back on, you
around.
bastard. Thank you very much. Hugely appreciated. Come on. 10% chance is pretty shit. Mind you, if you've got loads of direct damage, it'll probably proc a lot more. Come on. There you go. 963. So without crits, it goes from 558 to 963. That's a fucking huge amount of damage. It looks like it just adds it flat, but overall on every single dot you're doing, if you've got plenty of direct damage to proc, that could be pretty good. Although consider the fact that I have got no skills in, no passives, no champion points, fuck all. It's pretty good. I have Spriggans on my armor pieces and need weapon and jewelry sets. What do you recommend? That's going to be really, really long and confusing, especially since I'm doing this right now, but it's up to you. Honestly, it's about
I
choice.
love winnings. Drinks all around.
For build advice on one-to-one kind of standpoints where I have an hour of my time to spend with you, there's a Patreon link. Apart from that, what you make out of it is entirely up to you. Thank you very much for the follow, because there are too many choices. If I say one, someone's going to say something else. If they say something, someone else could say something else. Whatever you got your hand to, or to hand even. Just bear in mind, of course, you have very high penetration with that set. You might have to balance out your other stats, traits, and bonuses in champion points to make sure you don't go over the top. Unless you're in PvP, in which case go nuts, because there are some tanky people out there. So that one is a bit meh. It's nice damage increase. We haven't got a full setup on, so we can't see the full effect of it, but it was a substantial increase on the base of that skill, so that I'm not going to argue with that. It's quite nice. We need to do the other stuff. We're short on time, so we need to go through the other sets to see what they do. What's this one? That'll take it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Have those. We need a taunt for this one, don't we? So inner light will do. Not inner light, inner fire. Undaunted. So what do you think of the monster set? Getting there. I'm getting there. One thing at a time. Did I'm having trouble with your easy stock build? Hard mode for 1-to-1. How much for 1-to-1?
I love winnings. Drinks all around.
Magic, thank you very much. The Patreon pack for that, you can see on the link, which has been put above you. Failing that, go onto the website and click on services. You can see it there. You excited? Only need less than 6k total penetration if your target has raid buffs and then applied. Keep that in mind. 5.8.
I love winnings. Drinks all around.
Insomnia, thank you very much. So this one requires a taunt, I believe. Read it again. Healing received, or healing taken, same thing. Max health, max stam. When you taunt a nearby enemy, you tether them to 5 seconds. While tethered, you apply major maim to your enemy, reducing their damage done by 30%. That's fucking nuts. And you gain major vitality, so your healing taken is insane. And if you move away, it breaks. But this can happen once every 14 seconds. That is really, really nice. Only a 9-second downtime. If you've got people throwing in novas as well, between times, that can be quite sneaky. So we taunt it. There it is. There's a tether. It's pretty self-explanatory. And a rather large cooldown. There's nothing to indicate the cooldown, however. Unless we change this. We might have to look into our... Have we got all our buffs showing? Combat. Where the fuck has it gone? Sure, I put them all on. Yeah, everything's on. Always show, target from others, long effects, etc, etc. So, feedback on that one. I mean, obviously you don't have that on other monster sets anyway, but it would be quite nice to see kind of a cooldown in your buff timers between that. But then if you're a tank, you're going to be taunting all the time anyway. It'd be nice to strategically plan when to activate that versus not. But that's pretty cool. Massive heals when you taunt. You don't want to just taunt and it happens, which it does, but while you've got an active taunt, it would be good if you could just let it drop off a little bit to the near running out time and then just time that major maim. I'm sure you can add a third-party add-on to track it. Yeah, that's not helpful for the wider side of the community. PC, yes, they have add-ons, but there's 6 different servers and 3 different platforms, so that doesn't answer everybody's question. I'm talking base game. Whenever I talk about stuff like that, I'm always talking base game because I'm considering the broader reach of players rather than just one particular type. But yeah, I'm sure there's an add-on that will do that. If not, I'm sure someone will make one. So we'll check that one, which is nuts. I like that. We've checked this one, which is pretty cool. Very, very nice debuff set. Which one is this? No, that one's already been from the last setup. Last patch even. Checked that already. We'll just get rid of some of these sets so we know we've tested them. Get rid of that because we don't need it. Grave Guardian, that's a new one. I want to see what the effects do more than anything. Because let's face it, looking cool is all that counts. So, conditions are stamina, health, summon a stone aura while blocking, hardening you and your nearby group members. That needs to be reworded. Increase your physical and spell resistance. Okay, fine. So, we've got low resistance and now 17. What do you need to do again? Brain fart. While blocking. Ooh. Where's the size of the aura? We need somewhere which is a bit darker. It's not bad. It looks a little bit bigger than Circle of Protection. Maybe a bit bigger than that, actually. No, it's... maybe Healing Springs. Let's go in here. They're making nearby group members hard. Exactly, see, you need to reword that to fuck. That's terrible. They probably did it on purpose. Finn maybe had something to do with it. So, the aura is not that obvious around the outside. It looks like the same size as Frozen Watcher, actually. So, just to confirm that one. Dungeon sets, heavy dungeons, Frozen Watcher. Where's it gone? Actually, did I take off Cyrodiil sets? Let's go back and Steel. Let's do this one. So we'll do drawing weapons. Shit, I ran out of space. Get rid of those, get rid of those. Get rid of that. Put this on. Put this on. Now we need a sword and board. It should be roughly the same sort of area. You don't actually need a sword and board. You can just use any weapons for that, but whatever.
Winning. I love winning. Drinks all around.
Thank you for the follow. So, that there is the Beckoning Steel aura. So that protects your group from projectiles. And then if you hold block,
Winning. I love winning.
you look at the outer sparkles. It's about the same size. Corn, thank you very much. Look at that. So I just hold block and I protect everyone. They've all got massive resistances and projectile mitigation. How about that? That's fucking cool. He looks awesome too.
Winning. I love winning. Drinks all around.
I read that one already. Smoke, thank you very much. Pretty sure they did it on purpose. Really cool looking visual so far. Of course they did it on purpose. Thinking about buying this game.
I love winning. Drinks all around.
Being new is fine. I have videos on my channel for that, especially if you are unsure of some of the very basic starting off mechanics. That will be very useful to you later on. If you are not 300 CP, can you teleport to someone inside of Vet Scale Collar Peak? Yes, you can. You can do that indeed. You just can't use a group finder for it. I really like this. These two combinations are pretty cool. You're like a full-on protector. It's pretty awesome. You can walk right in at level 1. Correct. Yep, you can. So as far as that new set is concerned, I mean, the resistance for it I can't actually see at the moment, unless... because you have to be blocking to see the resists. Where the fuck is it? One-hand shield. Let's block. Perfect. Works with block. Ulti. That was 17 a minute ago. Oh, I've got resistance from my shield. Thank you for the follow. So it went from 17 to No, 22 to 26. That's a big plus. So what's your max particle set to? Not very high. You can have it much, much higher. Now, if you're in, let's say for argument's sake, PvE content where there's a shit ton of incoming damage and your group is all squishy squish nuts, and you are the tank and you are blocking and this is activated via block, that resist bonus to everyone around you is so fucking helpful alongside Major Resolve and Major Ward, or it's actually just called Major Resolve now. So you imagine being a Warden, throwing out resist buff for your group and hold and block for your group. They've now accumulated the best part of 10k resists across the group. That's nuts. Thank you all for joining the streams. As time is limited, please do not prod the streamers. Rock on. Yes, correct. What sets are those? That's Beckon and Steel and the new set, which I've forgotten already. Where is it? Fuck, I've forgotten what it's called already. Grave Guardian is the heavy set, and then Beck and Steel's separate. That's been on the game for ages, but it was changed a few patches ago. You can walk in level 1? Yes, you can. Right, let's check the other stuff, because we're running out of time. That new? Yes, it is. It looks like the Witch. Oh, we ran out of fucking space on PTS. Rip. Okay, we'll go and... Oh, look at that cake. Buying it. Gift it for me. Where are we? Upgrades, utility. Nope, upgrades. Bag space. For anyone that has watched my build videos and are really confused about how much money is on the character, first of all, before you assume that I'm a PTS builder, which basically means you just throw shit against the wall and make stuff happen and claim it's good. No, I do this shit on live, but I do a shit ton of active testing on PTS and presentation on PTS to save time, because my whole channel has been literally from the start farm everything, get everything perfect, then release a video on live, and it just takes so much time. The more people ask for more and more and more videos, the more farming I have to do, the less time I have. It's almost impossible to do that for like 20 odd fucking builds. So they are presented on PTS now, which is much more efficient. And if that was confusing, there is a video about that on my YouTube channel actually. Pack Pumba, he's mega. So yes, I know what I'm doing, but yes, it's also demonstrated or presented on PTS for time's sake, because then I don't have to go and farm this precise weapon and make it gold. Right, what have we got? New stuff. This needs to go on. Ha! Look at that. That's mega. That's one of the new motif styles, actually. Well, these all are. That are on my website. They did show us those the other day, and there are a few screenshots of them out on the internet now, so you've probably seen them already. But this is a close-up. They do look pretty cool. Hands, legs, feet. That should do it. Okay, mag recovery, max magic. When you heal yourself or an ally with an ability, you gain an aura for 10 seconds. You and group members restore 1,000 health every second and reduce the cost of sprint, block, and dodge roll by 5%. This can happen every 12 seconds, so it's got 2-second downtime. So, again, you have to heal yourself. Okay? So we'll have a heal. Crit surge will do it. Dot down. Heal. Did it work? It did work. No, it didn't. Oh, interesting. That should have landed. Or one would think. Every 1 second I should get a heal. Nope. So it doesn't work with that. When you heal yourself or an ally with an ability. So it has to be an active heal. But this is the thing. I am healing myself with an ability. So that is slightly misleading. But we can still do it with something else. We have a pet that can heal us. So we'll do that. Or Dark Deal. That will work. That one. Does that apply it? No. Does not. Palace, that's not helpful. That's backseat gaming. Oh, wait. Nope, that didn't work. Where the fuck did I get that for? Wrong bar. Shit. Why did I get Minor Prophecy? I don't have the passives yet. Oh, the fucking skill. Nope. Did I buy the passive? Oh, I did. Fuck. They come with passive. On PTS, you come with all the passives unlocked. I was like, where the fuck am I getting prophecy from? I didn't even buy the passives. I did. So this looks like you need an active heal, like a proper, I don't know, fucking healing ability of sorts. Let's get a resto staff. It's cool. Weird. Yeah, I know. Weird but cool. Supplies, alter and ability weapons, resto. Where the fuck is it? Maelstrom will do. Palace, you're back seating. Where the fuck is it? They automatically, yes. That wasn't a question, that was a statement. Oh, there you go. Lost my weapons. Just bear in mind, doing this live is my brain going at about 4 million miles an hour, so be patient. How'd you get that gold? Oh my god. I just said that literally a few seconds ago. Right, let's see. Get out of the healing springs, dumbass. We need to reread this. When you heal yourself or an ally with an ability, you gain a warming aura for 10 seconds. While in the aura... Okay, fine. So, let's stand on the edge of our healing springs so we can be slightly outside of it. I healed myself. You might have to lose health. So, it doesn't count as overheal.
I love winning. Drinks all around.
It's crazy. It's not real. Thank you for the follow. So that's... I'm not sure I like that. You can't overheal on it. You have to actually heal actual health. It's a bit... There's lots of sets where you, if you hit someone with a heal, they proc. And then you've got this that you must have health gone in order to heal for it to proc. I don't know. That's backwards and it confuses people. Might be a nice and live 4-man content. PvP, maybe. So we do need to take damage in the face. Seems okay, lots of situations where people are losing health all the time. Yeah, I know, but this is the thing. Now we're going to have to use the fucking balance ability. We ain't got a choice now because we have to lose our fucking health. And this is the thing. We need to test whether it stays with you or falls off. If it stays with you, not so bad. But if it falls off, you're fucked. And also, this is the thing as well. If you read it. Your reduction to cost is on the condition that you heal every second. If that falls off when you go full health, do you lose that? That's backwards in comparison to what you know already in the game. So I think that needs adjusting. I think that should be when you heal someone regardless, not just if they don't have health. Because here's the thing. If you hit someone with a heal, right? If you heal an ally or yourself as a warden, you give them minor toughness, whether they have full health or not. This one reads the same when you heal yourself or an ally with an ability, whatever. You get blah, but this only applies if you've got missing health. So that's counterintuitive. It's the opposite. So we'll do it. We'll do what has been said already because we clearly have to. Where the fuck is it? I hate this fucking skill. We don't need that one. So, bye-bye. In fact, we'll redo this now, actually. Nope. Can I heal off of this? There you go. It does work off crit surge. Oh, that's shit. I mean, the set's really cool. The aura's massive. I'm quite happy with that. And it doesn't fade off when you're full health. But requiring you to have missing health for it to apply makes it that much more difficult. Maybe it's just bugged or wonky. No, I just think they've overshot it. The visual's awesome, yeah. And it does work with crit surge. So, all I have to do is crit. Come on. Oh, that's the wrong button, that's why. Dumbass. All I have to do is crit in order to make it work, so... If I crit with power surge, come on! There's my heal. Looks like Sorora visual, actually, but massive. So, feedback on that one is I really like it. The visual's big enough. That would be really, really nice alongside that the block set, especially if you're a warden using trees. The heal's cool, the damage the cost reduction's cool, the size of it and all that kind of shit. But I think the application of it's a bit naughty. I think if you're going to give someone something that substantial, I mean, sure, tie it to a certain type of ability, so in this case, heals. But not being able to be applied to people that have got full health means that some people that are very good at staying alive may never get their buff because of your timing. They may always be in a situation where that's not firing on those. There's a couple of abilities in the game that do that as well, and it just falls into that category of awkwardness. If you're going to give people minor toughness for healing them and they can be max health and still receive it, then this should still apply to the same way. Or is easy to see. Yeah, it's very cool visual. It's very pleasing on the eyes. It's nice size. It's good to see. It's not like another lightning ability where you can't see it amongst all the rest of the stuff. So visually it's pretty cool. So I think it might need some adjusting in terms of its application. So land on people with full health anyway. And just, it's only 1k heal. It's not massive. So it's not overpowered. And then that would be really, really nice. It is a full 5-piece set to give everyone that reduction to cost anyway. So no different in that respect to Worm or Cutscenes or whatever if you want to give people a full bonus. Or even Eben giving people 1k extra health. So I don't think it's overpowered. I do think it has a place, but I do think they need to adjust how it decides who gets it. Pretty cool though. Interesting indeed. You make a good point. Fixed as well. Yeah, if they just alter that very, very slightly to say this can land on people with full health or low health, whatever, I'd be happy with that. It's a very, very cool set. We're going to look at it again because the visuals are wicked. Look at that. That's fucking really cool. Happy days. Says the age quality. Yes, I have. Okay, next set. Let's have a look. What are we missing? Titan Strength. We'll go for that in a minute. And also, I think that's it. I think that's the last one. Tried the 2 light sets. Tried 1 medium set. Where's the other medium? Monster set is coming. The other monster set is coming as well. And I've lost it. I think I tested it. I must have done.
Winning. I love
destroyed
winning.
it.
Drinks all around.
Thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. Tried Grave Guardian. We tried that one. We tried... Oh, this is the medium one. My bad. So we did do the 2 heavies. One was a taunt and one was an aura. Lyris gear. It's on PTS, so yeah. Are you on PC? Yes, of course. Could be interesting to see if someone uses a potion with negative effect. Well, yeah, there is that. That would work because you'd lose health if it was a health reduction one. So, conditions for this one. Weapon damage and physical resistance. I think penetration even. This is going to be self-explanatory, so we're going to look at weapon damage right now. It's on 1904. 2000. 2300. So that does exactly what it says on the tin. We'll hit that once, and we'll check combat metrics for the resistances. Where has it gone? Stamina. $6,447. It's pretty high. So, I mean, there's not much to explain there. That does exactly what it says. It's a very flat set. You got pen on it, you got weapon damage, you got stamina, and a weapon damage and physical penetration as a 5-piece bonus goes up and up and up and up and up the lower your health. So in PvP, for example, or even Maelstrom if you like, the lower health you go, the harder you hit back. But you probably want to stack that with something that gives you some form of protection. That and Fury might be fucking insane. So I quite like that. But that's a very basic flat set, but pleasing at the same time. So I mean, there's nothing really negative to say about that one. Quite like it. Now we need to see this shit. We'll take off one of these pieces just in case the set conflicts. No, wrong one. We want to keep this on. So that's that one. Take this off. That's a 4-piece. Good. Now, conditions. That looks really cool, actually. Like Ancient Dragon Guard, maybe. Kind of. We could be there all day trying to figure out what goes with what. We're not doing that. We're just talking out loud. Mage as a first piece bonus is quite nice because there's very few that have that. Grofdal's got it. Alhambris has got it as well. And then you've got it on Dominhouse. 1 in combat, casting ability with a cast time. Gives you a damage shield. See, this I didn't really like the look of on paper. Does Dark Deal work? Nope. We'll just use a vampire ability or something. Let's see. I wonder if it works a heavy attack. Nope, that's a shame. That would have been funny. So, we'll do vampire. Upgrades. Vampire. Yeah, it looks really cool. I do like the look of it. Skills. Vampire. Invigorate and Drain. So, while channeling should get a damage shield. Ooh, that's shiny. It's only 3k, so it's not massive, but it does look really cool. Visuals are nice. And obviously, once it's off cooldown, you can pretty much use it straight away. And you do have a buff timer for it. But Ice Heart is a bit stronger in my opinion. Because if you look at this, I know the flat stat is different because you've got the health, not health, sorry, you've got the max magic instead of the crit. So that's a, you choose what you want. But if you look at Ice Heart here, this one, helmet, shoulders, whatever. This will give you, I didn't pick the shoulders up because I'm a nub bucket. Where the fuck has it gone? There we go. In comparison, anyway, it's gonna be, this is still gonna be more favorable because this has, when you deal crit damage, obviously, so you have to deal crit damage. It's not just when you use a channeled ability, which is probably gonna be more often. You get an 8.6k damage shield for 6 seconds, so it's a much bigger shield for a shorter period of time, and you do damage, and it can reapply every 6 seconds. So this is pretty straightforward stuff. Come on, crit, you fucker. I'm on a character that has 0 crit. There you go, it's done. There's your damage shield. If you crit again, come on, crit. If you're on a character that has actual crit, this will happen more often. But if you compare the two flat out, where's it gone? Pick up 2 helmets by accident. Wrong one. This has a smaller damage shield and a bigger cooldown. Unless you can... No, you can't even reapply it because it's got a cooldown. Fuck it. That's, to me, no bloody good. Flat out worse than Ice Heart. It is. I mean, if you are an active DPS, stamina or magic, and you are firing off dots and light attacks and heavy attacks and direct damage and everything, that 20% chance to crit is so fucking high up there. It's going to happen all the time. It does. People use it all the time. So, yeah, the first piece bonus is subjective to flavor, if you like. One might want crit, one might want the increased flat damage. But the fact that this does damage and gives a bigger damage shield and has a faster cooldown, Ice Heart will flat out. I don't want to be that guy and say flat out because I usually test the shit out of everything extreme before I damn something. But honestly, this Ice Heart is better. I don't think they've, if you want honest opinions, I don't think they put enough effort into this set. The visual's very nice. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with the fact that they're introducing some new cool visuals, but I don't think these stats here for this particular set are anything better than what we've already got. I'm not saying it has to be better, but I would like a choice that is not
I love
worse.
winning. Drinks all around.
So it's a bit weird, and it's very conditional as well. You have to use a channel ability. Thank you for the follow, by the way. How many channel abilities are you using? I mean, if you're using puncture and sweeps or something like that, sure, it's got a proc, but there you got a 10-second fucking cooldown. Whereas this, you just crit with one of the hits from it. 6 seconds later, it's going to go again. You could get one of these to every like 3 puncture and sweeps. I think this needs revisiting. I think the damage shield needs to be bigger based on the condition being so rare. Because you're even using jabs, vampire drain, or maybe a cast or channel heal. I mean, that would be quite interesting, I guess. A healer could benefit from it. But the damage shield, again, is so small for the 10-second downtime. So, I mean, if you want to stick to this kind of idea of it being a cast time only ability, sure, do that. But make the shield bigger. Or cut the cooldown time down in half. Just based on this comparison, anyway. Should be reworked another way. It's useless. It's not useless. I mean, it has application, but I don't think it's strong enough, in my opinion. So, if you're listening to us, there's my feedback on that one. But I do really, really like this, what the fuck is it called? The Whirly set. That was really cool. So far, there's been a few very cool sets. Some need a bit of tweaking, but the Whirly one is my favorite so far. The Wind Atro type dude. Where's this one? So, this one is spell damage, and dealing damage with a light attack puts a stack of Bane, or bone, sorry, on the target, stacking up to 5 times. And then it'll go boom. Okay, fine. 1, 2, 3. Whoops, don't go too fast. 4, 5. Ha ha! Look at that! That was fucking cool. It's got a 1 second cooldown after you've procced it all. So it's like Reliquin for Magicka DPS. Boom! But faster, and then lose the stacks. So, what's the... It's undodgeable as well. Ooh, that's naughty. Deal damage with a light attack, puts a stack of bone. Once you've got 5, it blows up. And it will stun them or do damage. This is the trick, though. You have to stun them for the damage to happen. Otherwise, if you can't stun them, it flings them up in the fucking air. Yeah, it's 14.5k damage, but it's on a condition. So, the hand will come out for 1 second and knock them up in the air and stun them for 3. Or it will deal damage. It's magic damage as well, by the way. Which is very nice against bosses in comparison to stuff like, what the fuck is it called? Narayaneth. So that's not too bad in comparison to that. And very necro-friendly. Look at the style of that. Look at the fucking features on the face. That looks really, really cool. And it has a necromancy type hand coming out of the ground. So this is something that we've really been kind of looking for. It's very necro-themed and it does fit very well. But, let's see. I mean, you will have to make sure your target is immune to CC or is CC. So that's when the learn to play aspect of it comes in, which is basically the necro in a nutshell anyway. You can spam shit and look cool, or you can understand it and perform very, very well above that. And this set, I think, has that learning curve. So you'll have to consider what you're up against in order to take advantage of it. Or, if you want something knocked down, you can just not do damage to it and let it fling up in the fucking air. But if you take this into consideration, so we'll go with Narayaneth as well. That's like 8k, but it's got a 3-second cooldown. This technically has a bit longer, actually. So you've got the 1 second cooldown initially, then the 5 seconds after. You've got a 6-second gap between them. So although overall, eventually, this could end up, if it procced on time every time doing more damage, the 10% chance drops that, so a bit shitter. The direct damage requirement rather than light attack, which is a lot easier. Although it's still direct, you have to crit. This one you don't. So this is guaranteed. Any light attack. You don't have to crit direct. So this is easier to apply, but it does have a condition. I think he's just using a controller. I am using a controller, yes. Funny how many people already flown off the handle and quit. Ha! Yeah, this is what PTS is for. It's for testing. It's PTS. It's not real. It's not real for fuck knows how many weeks yet before it actually comes out. Do you need to be stunned? I read it differently. You do need to be stunned in order to have the damage done, or you need to be CC immune or whatever. So basically, if someone is stunned, the damage will fire. If someone is immune to CC, like they're a boss or something, the damage will fire. If they're not immune to CC and they're not already stunned, you'll fling them up in the air and you'll do no damage. By the looks of it, anyway. It's one or the other. I really hope they give Magden a proper stun or make it clench stun again, even every second I cast Dizzy and Swing, because the change to Drain has full-on fucked Magdens. Magdens have had some bonuses as far as the Frost stuff is concerned, but that was in the reading earlier. I can't 100% remember exactly what I said, but it's to do with crit damage and ice and status effects. So basically, if you apply status effects, you'll do extra crit damage, and if someone else has got status effects on them, you do extra heals to them. It's a really weird rework of the passive, but it's pretty cool. Stun-wise, I mean, you've got your Shulks, which hurt really hard. Why not? Still like those. And you don't need stuns as a Warden anyway, for most part, because you have so much snare and freeze abilities. You kind of stop people in their tracks anyway. The trick with the Warden is it's not necessarily supposed to be, bam, stop what you're doing with a big hit to knock them down. It's supposed to be, stay there. Don't fucking move. It's a different style of play. But you've got skills that'll do it. Turn both to crit whilst the enemy is chilled, but we need the stun. You've got slow abilities and then eventual freeze. So it depends. I mean, if you use, what the fuck is it? Arctic Wind? That's awful to get away from. That will pin people.
Winning. I love winning. Drinks all around.
The problem is too many people want to play every single class exactly the same instead of understanding that the point of a different class is to play it differently. Thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. Oh, we have a Dragonborn. Nice. Dragonborn. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah. Any good PvP mag DK? Loads of them. Wrong button. You know the rules, people to fight starts again from scratch. If you kill that Dragonborn, you'll take his place in the stream. I'll have to kill you instead. How's the performance? Is that a joke? This is PTS. It's not live yet. Did I test everything? When I say test, I mean put the sets on and see what the effect is. I don't mean actively go out and see which one's really, really strong, blah, 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 blah. That's done off the stream. Zos haven't really listened to people testing the PTS earlier. We got bash builds for free. They do listen, it's just shit happens. That's a stupid thing to come out with, to be honest. Sitting there and saying the developers don't listen. They do listen, but obviously we're going through performance updates. So they can't fix everything at once. And secondly...
Finish him!
Finish him. Fucking hell. Just because they don't do what you want doesn't mean they don't listen. You are allowed to say what you think, but it doesn't mean they're going to do what you say. And when it comes to things like that, bash builds and all the rest of it, they weren't intended. So they're things that once they're live, shit, it's too late, but we'll look to fixing it. And it takes time. Thank you very much for the bits. Hugely appreciate Bit and Cake in the chat. I am now going to have to get off because I am running out of time. And obviously, it's really difficult to keep up with the chat, keep my brain working, see all the new stuff and everything at the same time amongst all the panic, because there is panic. Don't panic. It's PTS. Test server. Nothing's real yet. Everything's still subject to change. Don't panic. You'll be fine. And every single time... Oh shit. Hello. Here's the thing to remember. Thank you very, very much. Hugely appreciated. Every single time we've had a PTS update, every single time, some fuckhead has gone and made a video about, oh my god, the game is dead. Or some fucking idiot has gone onto the forums and incited a riot and told everyone that we're doomed. Here's something to remember. Every single time that has happened about any particular subject, healers, bubbles, damage shields, anything, any complaint about those has been forgotten about by the time it comes to live because it was never a problem in the first place. So relax, don't worry, it will be fine. Anyway, I am now going to have to go because I am short of time, but I will be keeping people up to date, of course, on Patreon if you have early access to the Ninja channel, of course, where you can kind of see what I'm doing behind the scenes. There won't be any build videos until the content is actually live because otherwise they're fake builds because it's not real yet, so don't worry. And there'll be a little bit more coming with the PTS over the next week or so. Maybe not so much playtime on there. I will be going into the dungeons, however. So keep your eyes peeled for the updates for the live stream. And of course, if you haven't seen it already, there's a new How to Get Good video today explaining interrupts and blocks and a bit of dodge rolling as well. Now, for those of you that have been playing for a long time, that may sound very basic, and it is, but it's relevant. Lots of people need to understand it. Lots of people need to understand how important it is. And if you have been playing for a long time, you may even find something that you didn't know. So, anyway, first of all, thank you all very, very much for watching. I know this is stressful, but don't worry. I hugely appreciate the support. If you are not subscribing on YouTube or following on Twitch, please do hit those buttons. They are free. Furthermore, if you want to help support outside the channel, there are some links in the info section for Patreon, Twitter, Facebook, and of course the website XynodeGaming.com. Patreon, by the way, Secret Ninjas perk. That's where I tell people stuff that I'm testing. Shh, don't tell anyone. Once again, thank you very much for watching. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.